The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we can talk about. Yes,
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Good afternoon, beautiful people. It is Monday, March 8th, 2021, years after zero, in this sports show that has articles written about it now. We'll begin right now. Shout out to Twine for that beat drop. Shout out to you for watching or listening, wherever the hell you may be here on Sirius XM, Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio, and YouTube.com/The Pat McAfee Show. I woke up on Saturday morning, didn't have the full voice. What's going on? Is it the pollen? Because it does feel like Punxsutawney Phil, that lion fucking groundhog, is wrong again. It's gonna be 70 outside, Phil. Suck it.
Hell yeah.
Is it the pollen, or is it the new bong that we got in the office that I potentially took to the face Friday that could have incubated in my vocal cords and decided to show up on Saturday morning? I'm not 100% sure. I feel good. The voice might not sound great. It might drop out every once in a while whenever I try to get to certain tones, but we're going to have a hell of a Monday because there's a lot of shit going on. This is the beginning of Massacre Week in the NFL. Cap casualties are going to be in abundance. Richie Incognito, I guess, is about to be the first one gone from the Raiders. He'll be on the market healthy, ready to play for anybody. Zach Ertz is allegedly going to get traded. Odell Beckham's wanted in Tampa, says Tom. This is going to be a wild week. All the while, college basketball is heating up. We got tourneys, we got madness on the other side of this, and hopefully we have your phone calls. 1-888-MAD-DOG-6. Yesterday, Tone, you're a man who's a, classic degenerate.
Classic, yeah.
Have reasons for your bets and everything like that. Last week, you invited on Hammered Don, a man named Cutmaker Jeff. Is a guy from Indiana. Looks like he lives on the sun, loves golf. The guy was amazing whenever you talked to him last Wednesday on Hammered Don. He gave out 4 different people that could potentially win Arnie's tournament yesterday. One of them was Bryson DeChambeau. I put 500 on that guy. Riding the wave. The DeChambeau roller coaster yesterday. It was I won $7,000 yesterday. Just on golf. But I'll tell you what, you want to make golf better, you go ahead and gamble on it. Yesterday, watching that Arnie tournament, watching Bryson DeChambeau slaughter golf balls, make long putts, put a little bit of pressure on Westwood. Jordan Spieth decided to play golf good again, and then he decided not to again. It was an awesome weekend of sports, of golf. And I'll tell you what, Diggs, thank you for having that man on Hammer Don last week, because he made me a quick $7K.
Guys won a lot this year. Golf betting carried a lot of us through the pandemic last year because it was one of the first things back, and I've fallen in love with it. I love that you've fallen in love with it because we got the players coming up, and then we got Augusta. There's going to be a lot of golf betting and watching Bryson DeChambeau hit bombs over the next month or so.
I will say Max Homa wins 2 weeks ago. He came on the show immediately afterwards. Colin Morikawa won last week. He came on the show immediately afterwards. Bryson DeChambeau wins not only the tourney, but me a bunch of money. There's no chance this guy's coming on the show.
Come on.
There's no chance. He's in the lab, boys.
Yeah,
He's fucking in the lab.
Fair.
You think you can drive the ball 370 yards by sitting, maybe pounds too, with the way he's going, sitting in a chair talking to me? No way. Now, with that being said, Colin Morikawa, coming off a week break after winning. Look for him to win the Players this weekend. He seems to be a lock. He just learned how to putt. But golf is something, and I posted about this yesterday on my Instagram at Pat McAfee Show, the smallest, by the way, of all the platforms, mostly because of the face. If I had to guess, that is why it is the way it is. No big deal. I tried. I put a little bit of pressure on myself, though. I said I'm going to commit to the great sport of golf again. 10 years ago, I was playing 3-4 times a week. I had a 5-6 handicap. I got a couple people in my comments comments said they don't believe it. Fuck you. I haven't played in a year. I'll go beat your ass right now if I have to. Yeah. I'm going to commit to it this spring. Yesterday, you already started. Welcome back, Boston Connor. Man was on the course yesterday. Connor. It's great to have you back in here, pal.
Great to be back, Pat. And yeah, I was actually on the course yesterday with sales guy Brian, and I was trying to be like DeChambeau. I think I got my club speed up to 150, 175, getting in that area, still hitting it 300 yards left.
And those are the ones that were not put on Instagram, right?
No,
the one you're talking about right there, because your golf head speed, club head speed looked to be around 20 to 25 miles an hour with the one that I watched. As a warm-up, I would assume. But the way DeChambeau fucking swings, they zoom in on him. And I was a little bit worried, by the way. And I think the commentators were as well. He was out there practice round 7:20 at night, on Saturday night or whatever. Jeez. They're like, he is playing an exhausting style of golf. The amount of numbers that are in his head while he's golfing. And by the way, when you're golfing, the last thing you want in your head is anything. And Bryson DeChambeau has debunked that entire theory with the way he's going. I thought there was a chance, though, 15, 16, 17, 18 maybe, when it gets really when it gets down to those moments, I thought there was a chance he fucking just completely duck hooks that thing to the left or whatever. Instead, he was driving the ball further as he went on. This guy's going to change golf forever. And I'm going to say this, was awesome to watch him golf. Now, that course, by the way, is set up for that type of action if you can drive over all the water. He is so much fun to watch as a golfer. Now, I had a lot of money on him, so probably made it a little bit better. That guy might change fucking golf, Ty Schmidt.
He is really fun to watch. I mean, what was it, Thursday, when he first said, he was going over the water, and right after he just fucking piped it and just put his arms up, was get going. I usually don't like him, but he was really fun to watch yesterday. That was the most fun I've had watching a golf tournament in a long time.
A golf ball whacker guy, by the way.
Yeah, legit.
Burying putts, too.
Yes.
So he was burying 20, 25-foot putts, by the way. The one he rammed home to win it, by the way. If he misses that, we're going to another hole. He probably wins anyways. He put that thing in with some authority, and then he immediately was like, yeah, fuck you. He is really brought, I think we hated on him for saying that he ate 9 protein bars and all that stuff. I think we bashed him for that. That guy is, there's going to be a lot of bombers going forward. Now, not that there isn't bombers or whatever, but you look at a lot of professional golfers. We talked to Morikawa. That kid's going to make $700 billion. He's an iron player. His irons are good. Dustin Johnson was always able to hit the ball far or whatever. But what DeChambeau is coming, he has a long drive approach, okay, which you always have one person on your scramble team, okay, who just he's swinging a fucking telephone pole at these and just absolutely crushed it. Then when the 56 or 53 gets in their hands, the wedge of some sort, that thing's getting bladed and that thing is gone. They do not care. Get us back on the tee box here. This is a showtime to scramble. He has this ability now, DeChambeau, and he's probably going to have to keep honing this in. If you kill the ball like he does, boy, those courses get smaller. Everything gets a lot easier. He's making putts. What if this son of a bitch goes on to be the guy? There is a chance after watching him yesterday he can do that, but also there's a chance with that much thinking in your head, it could all combust in one swing. Just absolutely. He bounced back after a couple of bad shots, but I loved watching golf yesterday. I absolutely loved it. I said I'm going to get back into it this year. I think I'm going to. I'd have to golf in the morning. That's an early alarm clock. But, man, is there anything better than getting out there and hitting a good shot?
Nope. No. It was kind of a given. He did have that one bad shot off the tee that came up about a foot short of the water, which after that happened, you knew there was no chance he was losing because Lee Westwood is a notable known choker for his entire career. Jesus. And after Spieth fell off, but hey.
True.
Yeah, but he's back. Lee Westwood, 10 years ago, was the last time he was in world ranking contention. Now he's got his fiance on the bag. He's back. He's a whole different golfer.
Give him a break.
Jordan Spieth fell apart more than Westwood did.
And Jordan has done that in the last few years, too.
What's that all about, by the way?
I don't know. He used to be
the guy.
His soul is still at Augusta. After
he was
that
really
big time collapse. He was supposed to win. It would have been his second in a row. Yeah, he just collapsed there, and he really hasn't been the same since.
If you're watching, there's a chance you'll get to see just a massive amount of liquid fall and drip off the side of my table here. We were interviewing Bob Huggins earlier today, which you will get a chance to hear in about 14 minutes or so. I spilled an iced tea all over this thing, and it's just, my hammer's dripping wet right now. Just soaking wet at this point.
Thank God, though.
Oh, yeah.
It is just soaking wet at this point.
Literally,
Cool off that
figuratively.
hammer.
I got no voice. We got a wet hammer. I mean, what a day.
Would have burned through the case. I mean, the amount of bets you're hitting right now, you had to do
Hey,
that.
I did win a lot of bets, okay? I knew that the style bender wasn't going to be able to beat the pride of Pollen, the man who has the piece of rope around his wrist or whatever. And to say that I knew that was going to happen, complete lie, obviously. There was no way I was going to stay awake until that fight. Those UFC ones are so late or whatever. You can't do it. But as soon as Ariel said he's the best athlete doing anything this weekend, I was like, all right, I'm betting against that guy for sure. You know what I mean? Turns out he goes up a weight class. He loses. I win there. NBA, everybody knew Steph Curry was going to goddamn win that three-point shooting contest. That was at plus 110 moments before the three-point shooting contest happened last night. You have to bet Steph Curry in a situation like that, because if he doesn't win that three-point shooting contest, in the conversation now around all the other basketball players is that he's the greatest shooter in the history of the game. He loses that three-point shooting contest, that conversation stops. There's no way Steph Curry was going to lose that, even if it came down on the last shot. Congrats, Michael Conley.
Yeah.
There was zero chance Steph Curry was going to lose that. That seemed like an easy bet. DeChambeau hit because that guy cut maker, Jeff. I mean, that Israel thing strictly because Ariel said he's the best athlete of all time. Penguins beat the dog shit out of the Flyers. I mean, it was a great win. Illinois was Foxy's lock.
Wow.
Foxy's back on a good side. I bet on basically every single sport this weekend, and I won. I'm feeling really fucking good, despite the fact that I can't speak at all.
Just a sports sharp at this point. You know, there's the NFL sharps, there's the golf sharps. Now, just a sharp.
Well-rounded.
By the way, this is what,
Jack
second
of-
weekend I'm betting on golf, by the way.
Jack
Everybody
of all
hitting.
trades.
Twice.
This could all turn.
Well,
I don't
I
think
understand that this could get very, very chilly. There's a chance that my bets could get cold as Foxy normally is. Foxy's also hot. People need to remember that.
Thank you.
A tide might have turned in the Foxy train that I've been riding into the pits of hell over the last couple months or weeks or whatever. It's potentially getting hot. But when you start betting on things you know nothing about, that's when it gets interesting. And that's what I did a lot of this weekend. There's football on. By the way, FCS football is happening. Fan craze football is
Shout
still
out to-
happening. Josh Gordon scored a game winner. This was a big sports weekend, to be honest with you. Now it leads into an NFL week that people are going to talk about for years, I've been told. Dak Prescott and the Dallas Cowboys allegedly nowhere near coming together for a long-term deal. Jerry Jones told a local radio station, though, that Dak has all the leverage.
yeah.
Been saying that a lot.
Yeah.
What does that mean, though? Like, if I'm in a negotiation with, let's say, Connor, and it's getting public or whatever, I'm going there. Connor has all the leverage publicly. I'm saying all he's doing is just painting that. You know what I mean? Just like that information last week that he wanted right underneath whatever Patrick Mahomes. That was Jerry also pumping that out there. Let me go ahead and pump this out there. Yeah, he wants fucking Patrick Mahomes money. I don't think he's won, right? Yeah, go ahead and put that out there. Then he's like, hey, listen, he has all the leverage or whatever. But he does actually in this particular situation. They got a team that's completely upside down there. Now, at the end, they won a couple games, but with a new head coach, new everything going on down there. Dak Prescott gets that gruesome injury. Now, I don't know if anybody will pay him long-term after that injury. I'm not 100% sure. Now, listen, Dak is obviously an incredible quarterback, but coming back from an injury, although nowadays with science much easier than it was in the past, I'm not 100% sure he's going to be the same goddamn guy. And that is just, if I'm a GM, I'm like, let's wait and see if he can play football again. Dallas is going to franchise tag him, which is going to be $37 million in a cap-strapped year. Dallas Cowboys, much to Orlovsky's point this morning, they're pretty much fucked at this point. They should have got this deal done 2 years ago.
Yeah, they've handcuffed themselves. It's either now you lose Dak and you're in a position where you have to hope that you find the next guy, or you're going to overpay him and give him more than what you really can afford to do.
But what about Andy Dalton, though?
Well, is Dalton coming back? His head is still laying on the field in Washington. So,
And the thing about his head laying down there, nobody picked it up.
Not one line.
They just fucking let that red hair with the incredible cut just fucking roll around on that ground.
Someone like Alex Smith, though. Like, how many more wins do you think they have with Dak if they're paying $37 million versus Alex Smith maybe 2, 3
If you're
million?
Alex Smith, there's no way you want to go to Dallas, right? It feels like Alex Smith is going to go to Jacksonville. Now, it just makes too much sense. Ugh, there it is. Golly. What is it? Is it the pollen?
It's a mixture.
The pollen definitely is playing a part here.
Because I don't feel sick at all. This has never happened to me. Just wake up and it's like, little hoarse or whatever. I'm like, is it because I speak 20 hours a week? At this point, can't be this fucking week, okay? If these vocal cords can't handle this fucking schedule, they need to hang it up, all right? We need some new ones in here, which I'm assuming is possible. So I don't think that's the case. The pollen, though, is something. Jay used to be the one that's allergic to everything, okay? Jason's the one that got allergic to everything, all right? We both came out of the same area, okay? The same parents, the same operation, polar opposite people. He was the one that was allergic to everything, not me. Now I'm getting older. I think it's starting to happen to me. And this is bullshit. Jay, I'm sorry you had to deal with this your entire life.
You know, it sucks a little bit, but you get over it.
I don't know if I'm going to. I think this is the wrong time for me to have to go through. I'll get the sniffles now more than anything. I get people watching at home and say, the guy sniffling, he's got high energy, must be a big cokehead. No, that's not the case. Actually, I'm just learning how to deal with these fucking allergens that I have.
I mean,
pollen counts through the roof.
For being honest, it sounds pretty cool.
What's that?
Your voice.
Does it?
Yeah.
Maybe get me in a studio.
Yeah. There we go.
There's a nice rasp.
Talking sports. Sports, of course. I'm on a horse. I'm saying, of course. All right, let's get back to it. That thing's going to give out, though, in the middle of a really good point. And you know that's going to bury me. But that's the life you live whenever you're out here on these streets, you know, especially with allergies.
Focus on the point. Focus on the point.
Yeah, you're right.
You made a great point.
It's not about what I'm saying.
No.
It's not about how it's coming out. It's about what I'm saying.
That's right.
Maybe these people should stop judging me, by the way, for my voice.
Take it easy,
I thought it was 2021. What's this all about?
Come on.
Anyways, I forget what I was talking about exactly, but
Alex Smith. Why is it that Alex...
He's going to Jacksonville. Alex Smith is going to Jacksonville.
Makes sense.
Why is he so highly sought after right now? And you're hearing about him like being able to get multiple jobs, and then it's coming out that Fitzmagic is just, I mean, who played last year, looked good. Smith obviously has like the gruesome injury. Like, why is it that Smith is just like, you know, he's going to get a job wherever he
Has it come out and said
much.
that? People have come out and said that Alex Smith has numerous jobs? I did not see that.
Well, no, but I mean, we're talking about, you know, like the Bears being interested and, multiple teams being interested. And then now they're reporting that Fitzmagic basically has no offers and he might have to go to retirement.
Now, it is interesting. Let's wrap up Alex Smith, then we'll go to Fitzmagic. Alex Smith, though, he has the GQ article. He's getting released from Washington by his request, allegedly, is what everybody said. It seems like him and Washington were not that great of a relationship. I wonder if that's post Ron Rivera coming in there, because remember, Alex Smith and Urban Meyer were actually in a suite together while he was rehabbing from his injury in Washington. Everybody thought Urban Meyer was going to be the next head coach of the Washington football team because of his love of Alex, and they were sitting together in that whole thing. Obviously, Urban ends up in Jacksonville, but Alex Smith comes back after having a hamstring for a shin, wins a comeback player of the year, asks out of like a $14.9 million contract. So you would assume that there is other options, or maybe it's just Alex Smith doesn't want to be there anymore. He's sick of everything about that place. I'm tired of being here. I'd rather go back up somewhere and help somebody and move forward. If Alex Smith isn't a Jacksonville Jaguar, I think it'd be more surprising at this point than anything else. Trevor Lawrence is there. Trevor's going to be your guy. Now, aside from that COVID issue this past season, Trevor Lawrence has been a rather healthy individual. He seems like his body will be one that he'll be able to play. Just coming out of surgery off season, but missed no games because of it. So I'm not sure that Jacksonville would be hiring him to be like, hey, we'll need you to play a lot. But if Alex Smith, who's been there, done that around the NFL with everything at this point, is there for Trevor Lawrence, that feels like a match made in heaven. Matt Hasselbeck was that for Andrew Luck, helped out a lot. Now, Hasselbeck had to come in and play, get us some wins whenever Andrew got hurt. Trevor and Andrew don't play similar styles. I think Trevor won't be as hurt as Andrew Luck, but that veteran in the quarterback room is a massive ordeal. That's why you see Fitzmagic get these deals. That's why I hope and assume Alex Smith is going to be down in Jacksonville. Urban Meyer's been talking a lot about the atmosphere in the building. We'll talk about that at some point today as well. He's not happy about the way the word elite's thrown around.
Oh,
What?
Listen, elite this, elite that, elite this, elite that. Hey, I've been around elite, he said. Okay, you remember Dwayne Haskins, my quarterback.
Yeah, that's right.
It's a fucking NFL, Urban, all right? This isn't some FCS school, dude. Listen to him talk. I'm just like, yo, all right, we get it, Urban. Okay, it's the NFL, though. So, like, Now, there's shitty organizations. Always has been. Like the fact that it sounds like his organization's not going to be a shitty one, but the way he speaks as if the Urban Meyer NFL expectations are a lot higher than the rest of the NFL, it's like, all right, dude, fucking chill out. Right? I hope he does well down there. I do hope he does well because, you know, I've enjoyed listening to Urban on TV, and obviously we have mutual friends with Ohio and everything like that. But the way he's speaking as if he's bringing a new standard to the NFL makes me think, shut the fuck up, Urban, okay? This is the men's league at this point. You need to relax. Not that he's doing that, but just the quotes that I'm reading, he's talking as if, you know, like the NFL wasn't good enough, and now that I'm here, like it's...
Yeah, like he's going to reinvent.
Next level.
Yeah, like Edge, we're going to be on... Shut the fuck up. I love Urban, too. Like, that is just... Yeah. But anyways, Alex Smith probably going to... Ryan Fitzmagic. What is going on with Ryan Fitzmagic? This weekend, John Clayton, who formerly of ESPN, not 100% sure what he does now, he's a Pittsburgh guy from Fort Steele, where my old man's from. You know, he used to have the rat tail, everybody thought. He has one of the most electric ESPN commercials of all time. Last week or so, he's been reporting a couple things. Last week, he reported J.J. Watt's Final Four destination. Yeah. Did not say Arizona in that whole thing. He had to come back and actually say, my words are being misconstrued, which probably true. Now he's come out and said, Ryan Fitzmagic basically thinking about retiring because there's nobody interested. That's interesting to me because when we talked to him on February 2nd, just 1 month ago, this is what Ryan Fitzmagic had to say about his future in football. Where's your mindset at? What are you thinking right now?
Well, this offseason, and we already saw it with Goff and Stafford, obviously. Who knows what's going to happen with Deshaun? There's rumors everywhere in the quarterback market, but there's a lot of teams that are looking, you know, for a new quarterback or quarterbacks. So, you know, for me personally, I have to take every offseason now and just reassess. And I know, you know, these last 2 years have really, you know, relit that fire under me, and I still want to play, and I enjoy being out there playing. So
1 month, 6 days ago, what happened?
What has changed?
Who put out the fire?
Is it because Denver allegedly made and then kind of backed out of it? Let's not give up yet, just Fitzmagic. Okay, we need you, pal. After that, he'd go on to talk about how his oldest is in high school now and there's 6 other kids, so he has to figure out what he wants to do. But the thought of just 1 month, 6 days ago, when he was talking to us about a bowling situation, him saying that he has a fire lit under him to continue to play, now he's potentially out. I hope it's because he hasn't been contacted, because free agency hasn't even started yet. Hasn't even started yet, Ryan. Ryan, hold on hope. Because we got hope in you, pal.
Yeah.
We don't need him retiring just yet.
Keep that
Need
fire
to be
going.
watching him next year.
Need Fitzmagic still in the NFL.
Yeah.
On the Patriots. Thank you for adding that, boys.
Well, that's not what we said at all.
What? You just said
That was what
need
you
him
just,
in the NFL.
No, you added Patriots. Patriots are going to get Jimmy G, allegedly. Now, according to all reports, Jimmy G is target A for the New England Patriots. This comes after 2 weeks ago, the report was that the New England Patriots are in on every quarterback option. Then a week ago, the Patriots are not enamored by the free agent quarterback class. Now it's the Patriots' plan A for quarterback is Jimmy fucking Garoppolo. Let's get him back in the building. So now you have to think, okay, what are the Niners going to do then? It is alleged that they've been trying to potentially move on for Jimmy G since they got Jimmy G. Yeah. It feels like that's potentially how the Niners operate. But if they move Jimmy G back to New England, what happens with the Niners? Now there's another domino that potentially falls, which is what I'm saying to Ryan Fitzmagic. Don't you fucking give up just yet, pal. Need you not give up just yet.
And if Jimmy G doesn't end up in New England, the perfect guy to bring in, as we are saying, Ryan Fitzmagic. He's a closer. He's like Rivera in his prime. He can still play football. Let the guy spin it.
Why didn't they ever let Rivera be an ace?
Yeah, Ty.
I mean, you know, the arm's just not built for it. I mean, if you know a guy's going to...
Spark plug.
So I would assume that a lot of people are asking, is Fitzmagic still got it for 4 quarters just because he had it for the fourth quarter?
Yeah.
I'm not here to say that. Alex Smith, Ryan Fitzmagic is quarterbacks for the New England Patriots. Every other series, I'm fucking here for it. We got to pivot to college basketball. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now is a man who is going into maybe going into the tournament with maybe his best team he's ever had. Now, I don't want to knock Deshaun Butler and all those guys. I'm a big fan of Flowers, that whole crew, okay? But I'm just saying this guy has 899 wins as a college basketball coach, and he might have his best team he's ever had right now, talent-wise. Ladies and gentlemen, joining us now, Bob Huggins. Coach, how you doing?
I'm good. How you doing?
God damn, you look good. You know that?
Yeah. You like the hair?
Hey, people were talking about that during the game, because your hair was slicked straight back, and it was like, all right, here we go. How far are we going? How long are you growing that thing out?
I don't know. I was gonna cut it, and then a couple of players said, "Man, you can't cut it now." So
got to ride it out. How do you feel? Hey, here we go. We're in March. Sorry about the voice, by the way. I woke up, lost the voice. I feel like, I feel like a godfather when I'm speaking to you right now.
Probably after some of your nights that happens.
Amen. You probably know what I'm referring to. Coach, it's March. You got a team this year. Hey, you got a team that, not that you don't always, okay? But this team feels different, doesn't it, a little bit? I feel like you have a lot more individual talent on the field or on the floor. You playing a little different style this year. How do you feel going into the Big 12 tourney, into the big dance? How do you feel about what you got going on?
No, we can score. I don't think there's any doubt about that. We can score the ball. We've got to guard somebody. We haven't guarded anybody. It's kind of like let them score so we can get the ball back. We can't do that. You can't win like that. You can't win consistently like that. So we got to fix that.
I was there whenever you spoke at the football. I think it was an awards banquet. It might have been the first year you were there or something. I don't recall. But a couple of the players were there, and your first thing you said was, this guy's a good player, doesn't know how to get into a defensive position, though, we'll work on that. And then this guy, he's here, doesn't have a clue how to play defense, we'll work on that. And then obviously the Press Virginia thing happened where it took the world by storm. This year you're not doing that. Why did you make the change out of that? Because that kind of captivated everybody. It was like this West Virginia team, full court press, full time. Why'd you do that? Just because of the team? Just because of a change up? Why did you decide to change the way your team looks on the defensive side?
Well, I think personnel, I think, had a lot to do with it. When we lost Dexter Miles and Javon Carter, that took, the whole key to that was ball pressure, and those two guys were terrific at ball pressure. Tariq Phillip was terrific. So, that was personnel driven. And we got guys who could do different things. So we've done different things. I would have liked to, sometime in my career, been at a place where I could select, you know what I mean? Like, Duke selects or did select. Carolina, the Blue Bloods, they select who they want. I'm one of those guys who, Dax's high school coach played here and called me and said, "Hey, I got a guy you probably ought to look at, tape." we got him that way. JC's AAU coach said, "Hugs, you got to go watch this guy." And I said, "When's he play?" He said, 8:00. I said, "Does he play again after 8?" No, 8:00's it. So I got up, got me a coffee. I'm sitting there watching a guy press full court at 8:00 in the morning. He's a one-man press. And so I called his AAU guy, Dickie Simpkins. You probably know Dickie. I said, "We'll take him."
Coach, I think that's why people love you, though, because you've been in the game so long. 899 wins. We're going to get that 900th very soon. Okay, we delayed a little bit, but we're going to get that 900th one soon. But from your time at Cincinnati and your trips around and now at West Virginia, the fact that you don't act or have the teams that are just selected, I think is why all of us love you so much, because of, the way it feels. You're maybe the most relatable coach in basketball that the world has ever seen, with the way you dress now, the hair's looking fantastic, your teams are blue-collar teams. I think back to that Final Four squad that you had with Deshaun, and then when he got hurt and everything like that. It's been awesome watching the Huggy Bears ride at West Virginia. I'd assume you wouldn't want it any differently, though. I'd assume you wouldn't love to be the guy who just can go and select anybody, or am I completely wrong in saying that?
I'd like to try it once. Just to see how it feels, I wouldn't mind trying it. I don't know. It's kind of like, I am who I am, and I don't pretend to be anybody else. And I started wearing a pullover at Cincinnati when I had a suit on. I was soaked all the way through after the first half. And I'm going to the locker room, and my AD at the time said, I don't know why you coaches wear a suit. You should just go in there and get a pullover. So I went in and got a pullover, put it on, coach second half in a pullover, and have not worn a suit since. Of course, then he was the guy behind firing me too. And that was one of the complaints about me, was like I didn't wear a suit, and he's the one who told me to put the pullover on. He must have been planning it for a long time.
That son of a bitch coming out. Hey, why don't you not wear a suit, huh? Yeah, why don't you go ahead and just put on like a T-shirt or something, and then.
Yeah, so we can fire your ass.
What has it been like? Obviously, you've been in West Virginia for a long time now, but going back to West Virginia, I remember whenever you got back, it was a big deal because, homegrown guy, here we go. Watching West Virginia kind of transform into what it has become, both sports-wise with the move to the Big 12 and everything like that. How do you feel about choosing West Virginia? Because I assume there's a lot of other places that wanted Bob Huggins after you left Cincinnati. And how do you feel about where West Virginia basketball and where West Virginia athletics are going in general?
Well, I think, certainly West Virginia basketball. Pat, what's great is the people in this state. The people in this state are unbelievable. I came back here, and the Coliseum had not changed since I left. And when I was here, we'd go over there at night, and you couldn't even get a basket to shoot on. You had to get in the game because that was the rec center. Now we've built a beautiful rec center, so you don't have that going on in the Coliseum, but you do have women's basketball, you got volleyball, you got gymnastics, you got wrestling. The Coliseum holds everything, and I'm down there, waiting for women's volleyball to get off so we can practice, and a lot of times they got games and stuff. We're going over to the rec center, which I guess I found out later, supposedly we weren't supposed to do that. You got to find a goal somewhere, so yeah. So, to make a long story short, so I go around and everybody tells me, you can't do it. You can't do it. There's no way you'll be able to raise the money to do it, to build a practice facility. And we built a practice facility, and it's the best practice facility in America. And, every time something comes up that we need, then we get the money from the people in the state of West Virginia to do it. So I came to the right place. I'm around the right people. I was born here. I was born in Vincent Pallotti Hospital. Vincent Pallotti is now, it's been a lot of things, but I think it's an old folks home now. And great story, Pat. I was born there, and then after I graduated from here, I stayed around. I was working on my master's degree, and I'm getting ready to go to the Philadelphia 76ers camp. So I figure I'll get a 10-speed, ride a bike up and down the hills. That'll really help get my legs a little stronger and get me in shape. And so I'm coming down the hill. A lady turns into me. I go through the windshield, tear my knee up, scar my shoulder all up and my arm and all that. And they came out in a wheelchair and just wheeled me right into Vincent Pallotti Hospital. So I'm thinking, I'm in there laying, I'm bleeding and everything, and I'm watching my knee swell, and I'm going like, damn, I was born here, I'm gonna die here.
Well, you might, by the way, in the end. If it's an old folks home now, people are talking about, you know what I mean? People are talking about you, and now 67s never looked so damn good. I will let it be known, especially for somebody that has lived. But now that we're about to be at 900 wins, this team could go on a run, especially with your coaching in March. And there's been conversations every game I've watched. You hear a commentator go like, Bob might win a national championship and retire or whatever. It feels like you're a lifer in basketball. Am I wrong in reading that? This is our first real. It feels like you're a lifer in this thing. And as a West Virginia basketball fan, I hope that is the case going forward for at least another 30 years or so.
I don't know if I'm a lifer. I think my dad quit too soon. He's a Hall of Fame coach in Ohio, and but he had something else. He had a camp that, he wants to say he built. He never pounded a nail. That we built, and now my brother has it, and I don't know. I don't know what else I would do. Andy Kennedy wants to do I guess their podcast now, right? He wants to do something with he and I and probably Frank Martin and just make fun of each other all day. I think I'd get bored with that.
No, I don't think you would, by the way. From what I've been told, I don't think you would get bored with making fun of people all day. But watching you coach, it seems like it's just so much fun. Now, I do believe you have tampered down a little bit, though. Have you turned it down a little bit the last couple of years? Because a couple of years ago, you had a heart attack on the court, and I think allegedly, I'm not a doctor, but as you were having the heart attack, maybe my favorite story in the history of sports is you look at the guy and say, "You did this to the guy."
I did. I said that to the official, and he did do it to me. So, yeah, you know what? There's nothing better than the story when I had the heart attack. I was going from the hotel over to the airport, flying back to Cincinnati. I'm on the sidewalk and I go down. And when I wake up, everybody's around me. They're pretty attentive. Scoop me up and put me in the ambulance. I'm going in the ambulance and I'm in and out of consciousness, and probably out more than I was in. And I kind of come to, and I said to the guy, I said, "What's going on?" He said, "Coach, don't worry." He said, "I'm John Calipari's cousin, and I can't let you die till he beats you at least once."
Well, you survived, thank God. Have you changed the way you do anything over the past couple of years here? It seems like you're much more relaxed on the sideline. Am I wrong in reading that, or practices still are you still get after it, or what?
Yeah, I'm not what I was, but I probably needed to tone down a little bit from what I was.
Has it changed? Have you realized like a societal change almost with the younger age players, or do you think is that kind of blown out of proportion when people say you can't coach like you used to?
You can't coach like you used to.
Okay, how come?
I've done it for a long, long time. You can't do the things that you used to do. And Pat, I've been blessed. We go get a guy who nobody else recruits. Well, it came down to us, I think, in New Mexico State. And I said, "Nick, you like grass?" And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you're from Kenosha, Wisconsin. Do you like grass?" And he said, "What do you mean, Coach?" I said, "Well, I mean like a yard, with grass." He said, "Yeah, why?" I said, "Well, they don't have that in New Mexico." It's all turf. It's all fake grass. But really, we got him because we played DePaul and Marquette, and he's from Kenosha. So
the team, whenever you get a team into the tourney, as somebody who's a West Virginia guy, it's like, hey, this year we have Huggins. Who knows what the team's like? Okay, maybe the team's good enough, maybe not. We have Huggy Bear. There is a chance. I honestly believe that. And I'm not saying this strictly because you're here. I've said this numerous times before. It's like, hey, when Huggy gets in the tourney, anything can happen. It's real. What is it about like the tournament that makes you succeed? Is it your coaching style? Is it the way your teams are built? Why do you have success in the tournament where a lot of teams, a lot of coaches kind of can't find shit whenever they get into the big moment?
Well, I've been blessed with having pretty good players. You can't win without good players. You can't win at that level without good players and guys who are confident. I watched us beat Kentucky in the Elite Eight, and I'm watching the game, and I keep running it back because I know Deshaun Butler said something. I couldn't make out what he said. So, so I asked him. I said, "Hey, Dave, what did you say?" He said, "Nothing, Coach. It wasn't." I said, "No, man, tell me what you said." He said, "I said to the guy, I own college basketball." and he did. He did until he tore his knee up. I mean, he was phenomenal, and you can't win without having good players. I mean, you get to that level, you got to. I think they had 7 or 8 first-round picks.
Yeah.
And the whole first-round pick said Kentucky, 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 Kentucky.
Yeah.
And our guys were able to, to do enough to beat them.
We're talking to Coach Huggins, obviously at West Virginia, 899 wins. Are you already in the Hall of Fame? I assume you're already in the Hall. You're in the Hall of Fame already?
Which one? I'm not in the National Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm not in the big one.
Which one are you in?
I'm in about probably 15 other ones. But not that one.
Hey, well, fuck that one. That'll come at some point. Connor, what do you have?
Yeah, Coach, with March Madness being canceled last year, is there more of a buzz around the tournament this year? And also, when the Mountaineers go on to win the whole damn thing, are you going to ask for 2 trophies since no one got last year's?
Smart. Carry over.
Well, I'd settle for 1. We said this when we first got here. What I would love to do. And I think this would be the greatest thing that could ever happen to me is win the national championship, but take the trophy, get a bus, get Tony Creedy to set up on the bus and drive around the state and say, hey, we're 15 minutes out of Jane Lou. Anybody wants to touch the trophy, meet us at the hot dog stand in Jane Lou, and take it around and let people touch it, just go from town to town in a bus, and just take the trophy and let people experience it and touch it and feel it. I mean, I think that'd be the greatest thing that could ever happen.
If they give you 2 trophies, you could do that quicker, but 1 would be enough. Whenever we played in the Sugar Bowl my freshman year, it was shortly after a coal mining disaster happened in the southern part of the state. And I remember Rich Rodriguez at the time talking about like how much this means to the state. Like, hey, what you're doing right now, you have no idea about. You being from the state of West Virginia is a very passionate one, no professional teams. I mean, they live and die with the Mountaineers. Now, Marshall exists, I get that, but they live and die with the Mountaineers. If you were to win a natty and take that thing down to Jane Lou, I couldn't even fathom how electric that would be. Ty, what do you have?
Coach, you mentioned wanting to be able to handpick your own players once. How has recruiting changed since you started? Are you on TikTok and Twitter a lot more now? Because that's so popular with the kids. And has COVID impacted how you have to recruit?
Well, the COVID thing has pretty much blown up our country. I mean, absolutely. We can't go out and see kids anymore. They can't come and see campus, which I think is terrible. Who wants to go to a school that you've never been to? But they're not allowed to go to any of them. So now we're into Zoom meetings and all that kind of stuff. That's way above my pay grade. I'm not into that kind of stuff. I don't really enjoy doing it. I have to do it, I guess, to a degree. But
are you on TikTok dancing? No, don't tell me you're dancing on.
No.
Thank God, Huggy. I would have had to cancel it.
I'm not. I don't know what TikTok is, to be honest with you.
They're dancing on.
I don't know.
They're dancing on there. They're doing a lot of this on there. I mean, Dabo Sweeney is putting out videos of him dancing on there. I mean, it is.
I think Dabo calls plays while he dances.
All right, let's talk about this team that you have. You got a white that can shoot. McNeil, hey, when he gets hot, I heard the commentators talking about how you talked to him and you said, hey, I think I'm the easiest coach to play for. You shoot. If you make it, shoot more. If not, probably not going to be on the quarter lot. McNeil, he seems to light it up. McBride, he's an absolute stutter. Everybody talks about how he was a football quarterback and everything. Culver underneath. We got a team here, Hugs. Let's go win this fucking thing, huh?
Well, listen, I'm all for it. I'm all for it. We were awful on Saturday. There's no other way to put it. And so I gave them 2 days off. We're going to look at some film today. We're going to practice tomorrow, and hopefully we're going to go out and play with all the energy that we saved up from not playing on Saturday.
You got them again, by the way, 10:30 a.m. Central Time, I believe, on Thursday or whatever. You guys went on that. Is the Big 12 with the travel? It obviously didn't affect you. You guys had like 7 road Big 12 wins in a row or whatever. I mean, it was massive. Baylor ducked you guys there early, and then obviously the game came back overtime in Morgantown. But has the travel been trouble at all? Because, I mean, it's a lot of traveling for a team at West Virginia to do Big 12. This is kind of something, I guess, years ago. But does that affect the team at all, especially in basketball with the amount of back-to-backs and everything like that?
Absolutely, it does.
I think so.
You know, we're what, 4.5 hours by plane from a big jet. I mean, we fly in a very nice plane, but it's 4.5 hours to Lubbock and back, or just to Lubbock, and then coming back it's a little bit faster because I guess you get up in the airstream or whatever. But no, it's rough, man. Well, we get back 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning, and then, you know, guys got study hall, they got class, they got all those things, and by the time they come over to the practice facility for practice or film or whatever it is, they're dead. And I understand. I mean, I've had virtually every coach in the Big 12 say to me, I don't know how you do it. You know, just flying to Morgantown one time they think is really rough. And that's a 2-hour flight as well for Texas Tech. It's a 4-hour flight or 4.5 hours, whatever. But they do it once. You know, we do it 9 times. And yeah, it does. It takes a lot out of you. I mean, I understand it takes a lot out of me. I'm old, but I mean, these young guys, man, it's rough. And then what? You're supposed to expect them to come in there, and then you're going to play in 2 days. So 1 day's a wash. You know, you maybe try to look at some film and throw things at them when they go to sleep in the film room or something. But no, I mean, it's hard, man. It is really, really hard. And I don't think people get it. I don't think anybody really in our administration gets it, because they don't do it. You know, you can say, well, that's not all that bad. Okay, do it. Then you do it. You do what we do, and then tell me it's not so bad.
Well, I want to let you know, looking from the outside in, I appreciate the effort. I think that grit, by the way, that the boys have logged mile high in the sky is going to pay off. Coach, I appreciate everything you've done for West Virginia. It's an honor to watch your teams play. Well, you know, Pat, I love it, man. I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. The greatest people in the world. You know, they were chomping at the bit to get in there and see us play, and that's what bothers. When we lose, I feel really, really bad. But I feel really bad because I feel like we let the people in the state down. And you know, you were talking about the mine disaster. I was there. I went down, and it was as hard a thing emotionally for me as I think I've ever experienced. Joe Manchin was the governor then, and you know, Joe's really good. I mean, he can really, really talk. And so he goes up there to talk, and there isn't anybody paying attention. They all got their heads down. People are crying. I mean, they're understandably so. You know, their husbands, their sons are trapped in a mine, don't know whether they're dead or alive. And then actually when we went in, they had just pretty much came in and told them all that there's probably no hope that anybody's going to come out of there alive. And Joe hands the mic to me and says, talk to him. What am I going to say? You know, I mean, it's the toughest thing I've ever experienced, looking at those people. And so I brought like 200 T-shirts, and I had the guy who was the student body president with me. I said, go get them T-shirts, man, quick. And so I'm kind of stuttering around, and he comes in with T-shirts, and I said, listen, anybody wants a T-shirt, come up and get a T-shirt. You want me to sign it? I'd be more than happy to sign it for you. The first lady that comes up has 2 sons and a husband trapped in a mine.
And she said, Coach, is there any way I could get 4 of these? Because I want to give them to my husband and my sons when they come out. And man, I start to cry, and I was there, and you being here, I know that you understand to a degree, but what those people do on a day-to-day basis is unbelievable. They risk their life every day they go to work, and we can't say that, Maybe the way you drive, that maybe.
No, but whenever you put a product out on the floor, I think you're doing everybody hell of a justice, man. The effort is always high. I mean, granted, you're a little upset about the defense, I guess, to some people, but the effort's always high. There's always a team that we always think we're going to have a win. Most of the time we do. Cannot wait to see you get your 900th win. And let's go do this thing in the dance, shall we?
I appreciate it, man. We're going to give it a hell of a go.
I'm going to celebrate pretty hard for you, all right?
That shocks me.
Ladies and gentlemen, Bob Huggins. You have got to experience so many things, both as a businessman off the field and on the field. Is there a moment when I ask this question that pops your mind, like, what's the craziest shit you've ever seen in your entire life? I don't want to. The craziest shit he's about to describe is wild. Shout out to my dude Willie. Willie used to be a dope fiend that used to hang out outside of Marshawn Lynch's restaurant with one of his buddies, and Marshawn actually found shit outside, like human shit, and he asked, and Willie eventually fessed up to it. Now Willie works at Marshawn Lynch's restaurant. I apologize for that. That was a pre-recorded interview. We did that this morning. We tried to do the math. We tried to do the math with the hard outs in the commercial break with SiriusXM. We'd be off for the next 14 minutes if we did not come back. And we are not currently on radio, so shout out to YouTube. Let's do a giveaway. Let's do a giveaway here on YouTube.
Okay.
Here we go.
For the YouTube only. Okay, YouTube only. Let's get a deep stretch here. So I won $7,000 minus the $500, $6,500 this past weekend with the Bryson DeChambeau bet. Mm-hmm. If I give away all $6,500, did it even happen?
Yeah, I don't think you do that.
No, we do that, and then we add $10,000 to it probably. We'll give away $16,500. Utilize the hashtag #IamWatchingPMS. Hashtag #IamWatchingPMS on Twitter. $16,500 up for grabs. The boys and I will figure out who's winning house. One winner will be for $10,000. Wow. Then the other $6,500 will be dispersed. We'll figure that whole thing out. Maybe 65 winners of $100. One winner of $10,000. Just use the hashtag #IamWatchingPMS on Twitter. You have 6 minutes to get that in. Okay, so as soon as 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time hits, no, let's give them a little bit more time then. As soon as 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time hits, you can no longer do that. That's just for YouTube only. Sirius doesn't hear that.
Don't tell.
Okay. Yeah, don't tell.
Don't tell.
Hold that information to yourself. I can't get all the way there because the fucking allergy thing.
Son of a bitch.
Was it pollen?
Yep. Yeah. High pollen count.
Now the bees go into the thing, they do the thing, the thing happens. Yep. Then the pollen comes out and goes into this to create that.
Yep, pretty much. Exactly. I mean, every point of the year around this time when winter really breaks, pollen count through the roof, and you're going to feel it.
So my vocal cords are telling me that science says that Punxsutawney Phil was full of shit.
Yes.
Yep.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Pollen means winter's broke. That little fucking rodent was wrong.
Correct. You don't know shit.
Done with him. Get a new one, okay? Maybe he was once the guy. All right? We need a new rodent to come up out of a hole, stare at a bunch of weirdly dressed whites, and tell us if there's going to be winter or spring coming around, or more winter or springs coming around the corner, especially after a year we just had.
Yeah.
Yeah, but maybe we let Phil just continue to be wrong and let Mother Nature say, hey, look, you stupid little rodent. I'm the one calling the shots around here. It's spring right now.
You're right.
keep her angry to help us be happy.
And by the way, Mother Nature, that's somebody you want to keep happy.
Yeah.
I mean, allegedly there's a lot going on that isn't making her exactly thrilled, but I know she's showing up the sun out here in our particular town a lot more now.
Yeah.
Shout out to Mother Nature.
I thought we had a new guy, Dunkirk Dave or something, and he said Phil was full of shit. He was going the other way.
Dunkirk
I thought we
Dave.
were riding with Dave now.
Dunkirk Dave?
Yeah, there are more rodents in the game than
So
we know
many
about,
more.
I think.
Dunkirk, is that like the movie?
It's the world's second
England?
longest prognosticating
Hey,
gopher.
Harry Styles was incredible in that. Wasn't even marketed, by the way.
Yeah.
I go in there to watch that movie, all of a sudden fucking One Direction kid's here.
Whoa.
What the hell's going on?
Dude's normally in dresses. Now he's fucking fighting for England. I mean, this is unbelievable. Did not market it either.
No, they didn't. He really didn't have very many speaking lines either, but
Well,
he
nobody
was
did.
good. Yeah, true.
There's some other rodent in Long Island, man. Surrey knows about,
Yeah,
like
Dunkirk-
Trash Can Charlie or something.
Dunkirk Dave.
No, I think he was Staten Island. Let's not confuse the two. Staten Island's a far trashier place. I can't remember his name.
Oh, I knew that you Long Island people always
Long Island,
highbrow.
Long
down there,
Island.
Staten Island.
Hey, Staten Island's a fucking. It's literally a trash dump.
Mike.
No, I'm serious. They dump trash there.
Oh, Staten Island Chuck.
What is going on?
Now we got fucking 5-engine fire, right outside the door.
Good Lord.
Let's get to some phone calls. Pollen. Why do you watch We'll Never Know? Obviously, the pod has its own YouTube channel now.
Yes.
Yeah.
YouTube.com/.
That doesn't happen yet. Apparently, you have to wait a month or something like that.
Okay. So you'll find it.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll find it out there.
Trust me, I had the same reaction.
Hockey
you
Talk.
did.
Hockey Talk also has its own YouTube account. Let's go, Hockey Talk.
Oh, link is in the bio at the Pod PMI on Twitter if you want to find it.
Yeah, I would assume that Bill could put them in the bio of this particular video
Oh,
as
is that
well.
possible?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, fuck, we got advertisers telling us if we don't put a link in there, they're never going to pay us. It's like, well,
Really?
can we do that? We can do that?
See you later.
Well, if we're going to do that, that's obviously a little bit. If you think you're going to get top billing over Hockey Talk, bro,
Yeah, not a chance.
come on, bro.
Good luck.
I just hit there, by the way. Now, the members are wondering what exclusive content do they get if the pod moves over to their own YouTube? And that is a very good question.
TBD.
Yeah, there's going to have to be something though. For $1.99 a month, I promise you, I will provide at least $2.99 worth of shit. Okay?
There you go.
At least a show or two, extra bonus just for the members only. Obviously, your comments show up in green in the comment section. And we appreciate the hell out of those. I appreciate you being a member of the McAfee Mafia. You get access, to, I think, to some shit I don't know if you have yet. There are plans for you to potentially get access to shit
There we go.
early, and there'll be more streams.
Yeah, could do a members only giveaway. And, they happen so often at some point.
Yeah, we'll
just
do
the
that.
members can get
Oh,
some.
I think we've already done that, by the way. They got on College Game Day.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean,
And the wheels
I
are in
lowered the
motion.
price one time because I felt terrible about it. I want to let you know. Wanted to eliminate it this time. But then Bill said, well, if we do it again, then we have to, it resets everybody's thing because some people are maybe 6-month members, year-long members. If we redo the price, it potentially changes that whole thing. So I want to let you know I'm in a pickle. And I think you deserve a refund too.
God forbid Bill can't afford to pop open $20 of Pokemon cards on the weekend. Someone's got to fill his pockets.
Well, it is interesting. Maybe we just have Bill do that thing. That's members only
Yeah.
content.
Bill siphoning money off
Get
the
to see
top.
Billy Tubes react to a tweet from Nade Shot.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. 100 Thieves, how you doing? Keep it moving. Not 101, not 99. We got 100 of them motherfuckers. Okay. And they are in abundance, pal. And they're ready to go. Hey, are we a 100 Thieves show?
Big 100 Thief show. Oh, yeah. Big Nate Shot show, big 100 Thief show.
Okay, now, everybody said that would be your reaction to that tweet. That was actually the reaction to your reaction was Billy is potentially having the greatest day of his life here with
yeah.
Nate Shot tweeting us. Who's 100 Thieves rivals?
It depends on which. I mean, if you're talking League of Legends, I know you're a big League of Legends guy. I mean,
Huge.
there's
Biggest.
everyone in the Koreas.
Oh, we hate them.
The Koreas?
Oh, my God, we hate them.
I decree
thanks.
that we hate them.
Yeah, and then if it's Call of Duty, because the LA Thieves play no fucking games.
Exactly. Then it's Optic, and then it's the Gorillas,
Oh, actually, I think I'm guys with an Optic guy.
You're an optic guy?
I think there's an Optic guy, too.
Nate Shot comes from Optic. It's like Brady
okay.
League of
Oh,
Patriots.
wow.
Okay.
Jeez.
I like all those. Hey, I like
yeah.
Prius, too. What I
yeah.
said there was a lie.
All
Love
good.
him.
I don't know what any of you are. But I love you all.
What's
I
a
love,
Korea?
Love what you're doing out there. What'd you say?
I said, what's a Korea?
North or south?
Well, the north is where this little guy,
Yeah.
he once scored an 18 in a full round of golf. He also has potential ability to start wars.
He's been a little too quiet.
Yeah, something's been going on with old Jim Kong over there.
Working on his gaming game.
They've reported him dead like
potentially
65 times in the last year.
But he came back after the one on a horse and fucking murdered the people that were dancing on his grave.
Oh, yeah.
This is a guy that fed an uncle of his a missile from an airplane.
Yeah.
He also scored an 18.
Yeah.
Documented in a round of golf.
Bodied Rodman's ass in the paint.
Guy's got a fucking... People talking about Steph Curry. Wait until Jim Kong enters that goddamn three-point shooting contest. Yeah. That hoop gets real big real quick. We're talking about Kim Jong-un, by the way, dictator from North Korea.
Participating in next year's three-point contest.
Potentially and winning it.
Yes.
Yeah. That three-point contest will be held in North Korea.
Of course.
And there will be different rules for everybody that participates.
2 different hoops, actually.
Potentially balls as well.
Yeah.
What if he just...
He might be the guy. He might be the guy.
We got like 10 seconds till we're back live on Sirius. But what if the balls were on a rope and he just had to hit them? And they just won in.
The net was a hula hoop.
All right, we're going to run the open. Hey, hour 2 is on the other side. We're going to answer some phone calls and all that shit. Let's have a good one here, shall we?
Yeah.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
while being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to that show. It is Monday, March 8th, 2021, International Women's Day. Shout out to all. Hour 2 of this show begins right meow. In hour 1, we got a chance to chat to the legendary college basketball coach, Bob Huggins. Huggy Bear is his nickname. What an incredible conversation. We cannot thank him enough for joining us. While we were talking to him, Massacre week in the NFL has continued. Ooh. Carlos Dunlap, Seattle Seahawks. How you doing? Keep it moving. He was traded from Cincy to Seattle in an interesting set of events that involved him putting his house up for sale immediately following a game while he was still playing for the Cincinnati Bengals. One of his teammates saying, let me get that, and then him being traded a week later to Seattle. He immediately goes to Seattle, proves that he can still play at a very high level, has a great season with them in a brand new scheme and an offense or a defense that was trying to find their way. Last week, we did a deep dive into everybody else's analysis into salary caps, and Carlos Dunlap wasn't expected cap casualty for the Seattle Seahawks. He's now a free agent in a free agency frenzy that is riddled with talent, and the more and more names are coming out. Carlos Dunlap joins that crew. $14 million saved for the Seattle Birds out there.
Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you. Thank you, Carlos.
Thank you, Carlos. Is Massacre Week pushed back at all? Well, obviously not, since thank you, Carlos, but because the TV deal hasn't got done and because the cap number's not set yet, they don't know who they should cut yet and stuff like that.
Yeah, and that's interesting because a report has now come out by Maziano that the NFL and the NFLPA are currently conversating about what the salary cap is going to be, because the salary cap is dependent and beholden upon the revenue that is generated and garnered by the NFL. Right now, they're not 100% sure what the revenue is going to be, because one massive piece of it, the television deals, are all being renegotiated right now because the NFL is about to have a 17-game season instead of the 16-game season that they've had for the last 2 decades, I think, or a large part of the last 2 decades. So every TV deal is getting bigger. ESPN, who had the worst deal by far with the NFL before these renegotiations, allegedly added another $1 billion onto it to get into the Super Bowl cycle once again, I assume to get more content, but they're up over like $2.6 billion a year, just ESPN. Then you got to think about NBC pays about $1 billion, CBS, Fox, Amazon's getting into the game. All these people are now entering. I hope Google gets into the game. Hey, Google, let's get into the game,
Come on,
maybe.
Google.
That'd be very fucking cool. If we got into the game, maybe got some NFL rights. Could you imagine? Oh, but anyways, they might. You never know. Netflix could get, you have no idea. Anybody could get in right now with the most games in the history of the league, with added wild card weekend games and now another game to this season. It feels like the amount of money that could come in that would be necessary to figure out the split, the 51-49 or 50.5 to 49.5 split owners to players for the salary cap. I assume that's a rather large piece of information they have to have. I would assume that is why nobody has a clue what the salary cap is. And if you're the Players Association, allegedly Maziano is reporting that the Players Association wants to delay this. If you're the NFL, you would want to delay it too, right? If you didn't know what the salary cap was going to be. So it sounds like maybe one piece of information was leaked here to Maz to potentially, just like every other information's put out there. But I don't fully understand how anybody could make any decision if they had no idea how much they're able to spend, especially in the world that we're in now where the cap is the only thing that really matters. It doesn't fucking matter how good of a football player you are. If you didn't have the greatest year of your career and your cap is high, you're gone right now. And that's before you even know it. You would think everybody would want to know all the information. They'd want to be able to see the picture completely clearly before they start diving in. That seems interesting to me.
How long do you think they'd have to push it back for? Because with all the stuff that's come out, it seems like these TV deals are all but done. Like it seemed like last week we kind of knew like where the numbers were going to be. So do you think like pushing it back a week would really do that much?
Well, you're talking billions. Billions being negotiated. And with that happening, I mean, who knows? I would assume, every I needs crossed, every T needs dotted. Some Englishman's going to come after me about my mathematician conversation, and I'm not here for it. But what I'm saying is, when there's that much money, those contracts have to be
pretty lengthy.
Diesel.
So is that what they're waiting on? Because to your point, we did start hearing these numbers start rolling out on what's going to be, what's expected, where it's at, and everything, where it has been, which I'm not sure we've heard before. That's very I feel like we're learning a lot more, unless it's all bullshit, which it might be, by the way. And it might be the NFL releasing information about what other places are paying, trying to leverage maybe another place. Maybe. We got to remember that all information could be coming from a place with a reason, but the amount of money that you have to spend on your team is something I feel like the players and the team should want to know before they make pretty important decisions. But the NFL's not going to wait on anybody. So it's like, how long can you delay?
Well, and for a guy like Carlos Dunlap, he probably won't be signed, if at all, till what, August? Like during training camp, he's a veteran. There's no point to, rush into camp when you have to do one of those long camps that the vets don't like.
By the way, keeping the 17th game in the back pocket until the perfect time, which has been, by the way, this thing's been pushed for years now, and it was okayed in the CBA, but for a year, for the NFL to have a season where they couldn't sell tickets really anywhere, so there's no, there's no beers.
No.
There's no like cartoon-sized beers that are $45.
Right.
The take-home cup.
The big one. Hey, you were there. Hey, I don't remember much of it because actually I got two of them. Okay, so I mean it's like basically a 30-pack into then the nachos, the hot dogs, the merch sale at the stadium, by the way. I mean it was the amount of money that was lost out upon on the NFL. If the salary cap goes up, that means they made money this past season. Okay, that's what that means. And if the reason is strictly because they kept that 17-game negotiation. They're like, all right, now we're doing. It's like their Uno card. Right? It's like they pulled that thing out, and they're like, yep, bingo, here we go. How you doing? And they say, we need an extra $1 billion from everybody, actually, because we got one more game. That's good business, and people are going to talk about that for years from now, that a season was able to happen on schedule with some misshuffling around and some, like a shell game happening with games being moved because of COVID, and they were able to make more fucking money. That is going to be talked about years. The business is impressive that they run over there. There's 30 billionaires, one very rich son of a guy who worked his way up to become an owner, and then the Green Bay Packers. Ty Schmidt.
Yeah, me. I'm in a good spot.
What do you want to do? Delay? You want to delay? See what you can do with Silica?
You know, I mean, whatever is advantageous for the Packers, maybe landing a guy like Odell, trading for him, or something like that. I'm going to push for that.
Okay, so you're talking about Odell getting traded to the Green Bay Packers. Odell Beckham is allegedly in conversations. Carlos Dunlap put out a message saying he's still grateful. The Seattle Seahawks got him out of Cincinnati, which I assume at the moment is exactly what he wanted. I'm not saying anything about the relationship prior to the trade or the weeks before the trade. He says he's still grateful. Thank you, Seahawks and the 12s. House in Cincy is officially listed now and about to lower the price. Okay, so it is a buyer. It is a seller's market as well. He doesn't have to do that. Real estate is booming right now. The fact he's lowering the price. Let's go ahead and move on from all of this. I'm excited to see where he ends up. With Odell Beckham, with your conversation about maybe the Packers signing Odell Beckham and all these things, and that isn't Ty saying that the Packers didn't have enough weapons.
No.
What Ty's saying is if you look at the teams that are winning, they are loaded just in case an injury comes or fatigue comes or an off day comes. There's always reason to have more talent on your team. And with this free agency, I think there's going to be a lot of offers for 1-year deals. Odell, though, I'm not sure he's going to go to the Packers if he gets traded from the Browns. But allegedly now, it is being reported by Adam Schefter, who Shefty might have went on vacation for a week. I'm not sure. He might have went on vacation to Tampa for all we know. Ooh. Adam Schefter comes back on Get Up this morning and says, hey, Tom wants Odell down in Tampa, basically. Tom Brady wants Odell on the Bucs. It would be challenging for the reigning champs to acquire Beckham due to his contract, but they want him down there via ESPN's Adam Schefter on Get Up. So, Tom Brady wanted Antonio Brown. Now, Bruce Arians said he and Jason Light had to make the call. We agree. That is the person that has to do it, but they got Antonio Brown. Tom Brady wanted Rob Gronkowski. Now, Bruce and Jason Light had to make a deal with Belichick for a 4th rounder or 5th rounder or whatever for a guy who scored 2 touchdowns in the Super Bowl. I'm sure you'll be able to draft a guy that can do that. For sure. Up there in New England. Oh, yeah. They go and get him. If Adam Schefter is reporting it, there's a reason Adam Schefter has that information. Now Tom is potentially publicly saying to BA and everybody, hey, let's go ahead and get that guy up there in Cleveland. I've seen him play. All right, I think he'll fit in just fine here. He gave me that goat cleat. Remember, he gave me that goat cleat after the game. We're pals, we're friends. And if you're Odell Beckham Jr., you're going to be pretty pumped to hear this. And now listen, Cleveland's building something special as well. But anytime Tom Brady or another team is talking about wanting you, that ups your value immediately upon that. Cleveland, I don't know if they're in the business of trading Odell. Maybe it'll save them some money. I'm not sure they're in money issue right now with the way Andrew Berry has that thing set up. But him down there in Tampa would be electric.
You can definitely kiss Chris Godwin goodbye, right? If they're going to bring Odell with that contract, can you really have both of them?
So what we heard there was Tom saying it, allegedly. We didn't hear the Tampa Bay Buccaneers saying, Tom, our fucking guy, we got to pay our... How are we going to pay our guy?
I want to give Odell a ring, okay? I already got Chris one.
That's
now
what Tom's saying.
OBJ one, okay?
Because you know what I do? I'm like Santa. Consider me Santa Claus.
Yeah.
All right, I gift these rings out. I gave Chris one. Congrats, Chris. Go get your money. Odell, this guy misunderstood. He's so good. He got hurt and they got better somehow. The Browns, he got hurt and they figured out their offense. They want to move on. Come on, bring them down here. He's like, guys, you're supposed to take care of your guys, though. That is an interesting situation if you're building a ring-chasing team. Is you're supposed to be known as a culture that takes care of your guys. Like, hey, if you play well here, you're going to get paid. Yeah. And if you do your thing here, you're going to be paid. That is a narrative that a lot of people would like to hear from a franchise if they're looking to go play there. But in this particular case, if they can bring in Adrian Peterson and they can bring in Antonio Brown, Rob Gronk, and they can bring in these guys that they've been able to do, it's going to be tough to figure out how you pay your own guys while giving these very minimal deals to everybody else that everybody's just going to accept because you're probably going to win a ring.
Sometimes to take care of your own guys, you got to let your own guys go. You know, hey, Lenny, go get paid.
Sometimes to go forward, you got to go
backwards.
Let's get to the phones. Let's go to Mike in Michigan. What's going on, Mike?
Hey, how's it going?
Not too shabby. Is it 70 in Michigan and beautiful? It is 70 in Indiana right now.
Yeah, it's about 65 probably sitting outside.
On that lake?
Oh, yeah.
Oh.
Man.
So I wanted to talk about Mr. March. Tom Izzo.
What do you want to talk about with Tom Izzo, Mike?
guy's got to be the best coach in the country. We got 8 Final Fours in 22 years. Name a better coach, Pat.
Name one.
Thank you, Mike. To be honest, Bob Huggins.
One comes to mind. Yeah.
If I had to, I would say Bob Huggins.
Hey, I'd put them at very similar coaches.
And by the way, the little shit show you guys started this season with, Bob ain't ever doing that.
No.
Bob would be dead on the court before his team would be that terrible.
It's not where you start. All right, everyone knows it's where you finish. March is where it matters, and now we're playing our best ball.
They are, by the way, 3 top 5 dubs in the last week or something.
Yeah.
But maybe those top 5 teams are misranked.
Still a team Foxy roots for too, so they have no chance.
Michigan State?
Oh, come on.
They beat Michigan the other day.
Oh, yeah.
Yesterday.
Yeah, Michigan had the title locked up. They didn't care.
True, take day off. We already heard about the season, how tiring it is for these boys. It's Michigan State. They stink. We can give them a win. Let them in the tourney, actually. We hope they get in the tourney.
I want to see him again.
Yeah, and we would like to see this. Let's go ahead and extend. Maybe they extend an olive branch here. We'll let you in, but that's in hopes of playing you first round. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, Michigan State would not do that to Michigan. It's a real rivalry. We would just smash them in the mouth, not let them in the tournament, have fun in the NIT.
Now, you guys couldn't do that is what we're saying, though.
Yeah, not this year.
Well, I thought he was the best coach of all time.
He is, in March.
When he has talent.
Oh. I will say Tom Izzo, by the way,
Yeah.
and it's going to ruffle some feathers. Better coach than Coach K.
Whoa.
Amen.
Can you imagine if Tom Izzo had Zion and the boys he had a couple of years
Come
ago?
on. RJ Barrett.
Tom Izzo beat Zion and the boys.
Bro, imagine Bob Huggins with Zion and the boys at West Virginia. Oh.
Now, I will say, Michigan State is supposed to have the best recruit since Kevin Durant next year, so we'll actually see how that goes.
Where's he from?
He's from Michigan, I think Plymouth
the
or
dude that
Ypsilanti.
So what, all his family and friends just told him if he left Michigan to go play somewhere that mattered, like they would kill him? Why is he going to Michigan State, this kid?
I'll be shocked if he actually plays a game in a Michigan State uniform. I'm sure he'll take one of those alternate options and get paid.
He's 1,000% going to flip his commitment to Michigan. No question.
No, he's not going to do that.
No,
he's not going to do that.
No question at all.
Juwan Howard's going to give him a call and be like, hey, I don't know if you watched last year. Michigan State fucking stinks. We're good. I got a nice little spot for
What if he goes to the overtime's $100,000 a year thing?
See, I think he's going to do something like that. They say he can play in the NBA right now.
Yeah,
Is that happening, by the way? Is that overtime $100,000 thing happening? And who's giving them the money for that? There's allegedly Overtime, which is a social media app, I think, for covering high school sports. I follow, see a lot of great highlights on there. I get a chance to, actually, I think my high school was featured on there this year on the wrong side, though, that kid.
Oh, no.
That kid had that. He ran through 45 people. You remember?
Oh, yeah.
On
In
that
the playoffs.
That one. Our team won that game, though.
Oh, yeah.
But the highlights will never tell that story, which is kind of a problem with this generation, man.
Yes.
I'm not talking about it. It's real, though. Like, Omar does a great job with SportsCenter, okay? But he'll put up some sick pass oop or something that happens, and like, yo, feeling it or whatever. That team loses by 40.
Yeah.
And everybody's like, yeah, this is all. I don't know. There's just, because it is an incredible play, all right? But do we care even that the team, that's the bigger question.
Got their ass beat, Hey.
Well, it's not also their fault that Omar posted either.
True.
We'll talk about that. Overtime, though, is allegedly launching a high school professional basketball league. Where they're going to pay $100,000 to every single player, and then if you end up not making it into the NBA or whatever, you'll get $100,000 to go to college. So it seems like they're trying to battle both things. Like, hey, if you want to make it to the NBA, here you go. Here's $100,000. I assume they're open. You're allowed to get your own sponsorships, I'd assume, on social media, and you're allowed to digital market, probably have your own YouTube, everything like that. So it feels like that is going to cuck the living shit out of NCAA college basketball, especially if they get, 5, 6 guys each year to go in there that are the guys. And maybe a shoe company will come in immediately after and say, hey, here's a deal worth $10 million. So then you're making $10,100,000 just from those two things there. I think that's going to become a lot more appealing for a lot of players. And in basketball, how many teams they have to have? 5, 6? You put the good one, all the great guys at the top of that thing, and then you just kind of have the team under there. It feels like that is a significant shift in power of the whole college basketball thing. I'll be excited to find out what Duke does or Calipari does or, Huggins or any of these college coaches do to stop that or the universities to stop that. I don't know how you're going to stop players from making that type of money with the freedom without having to fake go to class or anything. I don't know. That sounds like that's going to be a successful operation. And with social media, in the world being much smaller now, it's much more likely this type of thing. This has always been talked about. But with social media kind of bringing everybody together, whether it's messaging, DMs, numbers, hangouts, workouts, everything you see because of social media, I think it's much more likely it can happen. I mean, it'd be interesting to watch. And what would happen with football then? Then something would happen with football as well. It's potentially a pretty pivotal moment here in sports history, I think.
So I was reading into it. They're going to try to have 30 kids for the first season. They're all going to be in one city. They're going to provide teachers
16.
and stuff like that. But Kevin Durant is
Couple guys on the bench.
part of the finance. Carmelo Anthony's part of the finance. David Stern before he passed away.
So probably 4 teams, right?
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
7 or 8 on each.
Those are going to get tired.
Yeah.
Well, also,
They're going to be running that like Bleacher Report open run court?
Yeah.
should be, but the G League's also offering, $500,000 contracts too. And a lot of kids have had success from this past year going straight to the G League and then entering the draft the year after. So
overtime is going to be the brand building kids.
okay.
And G League, probably the dudes.
Yeah. Because you get the NBA coach in there too. I mean, I don't know.
And by the way, I've not done research. This is just coming off the information you literally just told me right now. If G League, which is directly associated with the NBA, is paying more, I would assume that's going to be where the dudes go. Now, if you're a great basketball player with a good brand, but maybe not NBA guy, probably go to overtime, right? Help build your own brand, and you get a $100,000 scholarship, basically.
There's a built-in safety net with that. So, all those kids who go to the G League and eventually don't make it, it's not like the G League's paying them a full college scholarship on the back end. Like all these kids, why wouldn't you do it if you're going to get paid? And then if you don't make it, it's like, okay, well, we'll still pay for you to go to college.
Yeah. Now, you could have these kids put away 30% of their $500,000 salary at the G League to pocket it to pay for school later.
That's a good point.
And I assume that the people that expect that grew up in, an accountant's house.
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Silver spoon in their mouth.
I'd assume that's the case. But it would be a smart move.
Yeah.
Yes,
it would.
So, you couldn't have told me that. Okay, I was on scholarship and got loans out to have a good time. You know what I mean?
Why not?
So, that's an interesting. That overtime thing is interesting to watch, especially with the G League potentially popping off. Calipari, Coach K, Hugs, all the OGs, Izzo kind of getting older. Maybe they go coach. Ooh. If you're overtime, are you trying to get the good coaches into your thing now?
Do you think it's location based? Since the kids are in high school, it'd have to be like they would all have to be from the same region? Or do you think they'll actually go
this
to
is after high school, right?
This is 16 to 18-year-olds.
Oh, this is in high school?
For the overtime, yeah.
Really? Yeah.
Oh, shit. I thought this was afterwards. That is awesome. So, oh, my God. Now that has a much larger...
They said they're going to have one host city, so...
Okay.
So you probably go like a camp. You probably just go for like a month.
Your bubble.
I thought it was after. I didn't know they were doing this to high schoolers.
16 to 18-year-olds. That's why...
Oh, my God. Good for the high schoolers.
Yeah.
If you can dunk and got a couple good highlights, got a good brand, play pretty good, go get $100,000. Oh, walking around those high school halls after getting paid $100,000 can tell me nothing. I'd assume at this point those kids are already like that, though, if their highlight makes it on, House of Highlights or overtime or anything like that. I assume that's a pretty big deal.
A lot of those kids in that overtime post, they already got like 500,000 to 1 million followers on, IG and Twitter. So it's like they're already massive names. Throw them a bone with $100,000. That's genius.
And by the way, I assume going to one of these institutions that is, very, very knowledgeable and very historic. I'm sure that those universities will be able, because these kids, if they play that, they're foregoing their NCAA rights. So if these kids aren't to make it or whatever, I'm sure the universities would be able to teach them how to make more money than they're already making on social media, right? Because that's what college is supposed to be.
Yeah.
You go to college to learn your profession.
Of course.
I'm assuming these kids that have 500 to 1 million followers have already made $100,000 for a couple of years. They've already been able to do branding deals. I'm sure fucking Duke University would know how to teach them how to make more money in their field than what they'd be able to experience just doing themselves, right?
4 years at Duke, you can probably quadruple.
With your knowledge of social media.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
They'll teach you everything.
The modern day gold rush, the internet.
Nothing says social media like an 80-year-old person telling you how to run it.
Oh, what about a 69-year-old?
Well, that might
That's
change
a little
it
different.
a little.
That's a little different. What do you got, Diggs?
This is from an article about the league. It says educational offerings will place a special emphasis on developing the life skills necessary to manage and sustain a successful pro sports career.
Genius.
Focused on financial literacy, media training, and social justice.
So
advocacy.
much better. I mean, just so much better than college already. Just that aspect is so much better than college.
Every kid's going to want to do this.
Why wouldn't you? Only 30 kids, though.
True.
Not going to be easy. You're not just going to fall into this thing. You're going to have to work for it.
Mm-hmm.
But if I get a chance to have a child in little, Doobie McAfee.
Oh, yeah.
Has got some handles in 7th and 8th grade.
Here we go, Doobs.
9th grade, I'm letting him know, like, hey, pal, you better go put up some fucking shots.
Yeah.
You got a chance to become a pro in like a year and a half.
100K out there waiting for you.
Okay, and you don't have to be that tall, cuz in this one, you're going to be able to move still.
Mm-hmm.
You do your thing here, Doobie, all right? So fucking don't come back inside until you figure out how to shoot from everywhere on the court. You can even get a little cot, sleep out there.
Yeah.
You got a year and a half. You're about to be a pro, Doobie. Get it together, pal. That's real, by the way. Those kids become professional athletes at the age of 16. That's a hell of a goal setter. That's a hell of a goal. Now, there's only 30 of them. That's going to be tough. But, Doobie, get your fucking ass out there and find that jump shot.
Especially that kid from Michigan State. That was the dude who Terrence Ross said could make a basket in the NBA if he were to just jump in right away.
Oh, yeah, he said no. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
then he said that guy.
Yeah.
It is interesting because back in the day, Kobe, Garnett, who was that dude they made a entire documentary about out of New York?
Sebastian Telfair.
Telfair, the lefty.
Yeah.
There was guys that were going. LeBron, obviously.
Yeah.
Kendrick Perkins.
Yeah, Perk.
Kendrick Perk. Big Perk.
Big Perk.
My new favorite TV person.
Carry on.
Dwight Howard.
Dwight Howard.
Yeah, but I feel like all those guys are massive. Now, Zion probably physically could have made it up there, right?
Yeah.
Zion could have done it.
Yeah.
For sure.
Now, he missed 4 dunks last night in his All-Star debut, and I happened to bet the over 20.5 points in that whole thing. But I think physically, that's the big thing is like physically, can you make it? I remember coming out of high school, I was kicking like 70-yard field goals, I was like, should fucking go pro now.
Yeah.
I'm kicking it over Jeff Reed's head at this camp. This guy's making how much money? I just go pro. There's obviously, if that was available, I would have tried, never would have made it. I would have missed probably 5 straight kicks in training camp, been cut, wouldn't have been able to get into college, life would have been over. So I understand that there's a reason why some of these rules are in there, kind of save you from you. But there should be exceptions to that high school basketball thing because it's like, I almost thought whenever the NBA stopped it, I'm like, oh, they must be making a deal with the NCAA. Like, they must be helping the NCAA. Oh, we realized you guys became irrelevant as a motherfucker because none of the good players were playing there. Nobody's really paying attention. So we'll do this 1-year deal where they'll act like they're going to school for 6-7 months, and then you guys get a good March Madness, and then, we get to have the whole thing. I think there should be hey, this guy, let's not jeopardize this guy's entire career down here with maybe a blown out shoe, because you guys got going on down there. Let's just get this guy right up here. That seems like that's probably what's going to be happening.
Yeah, and to that point for this league, it's going to be big if the NBA lowers from 19 to 18 for their minimum age, because what are these guys going to do after 18? Is the overtime league going to let them play until they're 19 and then go to the NBA draft, or how's that?
Then there's the G League. And,
That's right.
And then there's
Overseas.
Go play in Europe.
Estonia, Lithuania.
Yep.
Australia.
Spain.
Hey, Aussie Rules football's back, by the way.
Yeah. Thank God.
Hey, I guess Mason's starting out very hot. Had 3 the other day.
Did he?
Had 3 goals or whatever.
Okay.
Yeah. Much better start than last year. Last year he was a little bit injured. People forget. And people probably don't even know what we're talking about. Aussie Rules football, listen, impossible to watch. It's at 3 a.m., 4 a.m. our time because the world, although potentially flat in some people's eyes.
That's right.
The same time is very different on the other side of the flatness then, if that is the case. It is very difficult to watch Aussie Rules football live, but the highlights are fantastic. I got into it during the sports world stoppage that happened, because Uncle COVID did his thing. Man, that was back whenever, they they were fishing net people on their heads.
Yeah.
That was back when that was happening.
We were talking about, I think it was like almost a year ago today. You remember the mass hysteria? We were watching the college basketball, the conference tournaments, and
Utah Jazz.
Yeah.
Yes, the Utah Jazz.
And it was just like literally the end of the world.
Attention, we need everybody in this building to evacuate. The game will be postponed. What? Do not panic. Everybody needs to leave. Do not panic. Look at each other, touch each other. We don't know anything that's going to happen. Actually, just fucking get out of here. Do not panic. And then everybody screaming out of there.
That was March 11th.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise, dude.
Mad times.
Now, there's a couple places that are like, bring them out, bring them out, bring them out.
And others.
It's hard to yell when you're locked in your house. Get them out of here.
Connor said we wouldn't have fans for 4 to 5 years. We're going to have fans in the stands next season.
Man, I hope.
There's fans in the stands already, right? Didn't I see something that had fans in the stands?
Oh, yeah. I mean, a lot of things have fans. I'm talking about full stadium.
Oh, you're talking about everybody back. Let's go ahead and jam-pack this thing?
Yeah.
Then you got to worry about the reaction to people that don't want to be back in the public, by the way. When I was down in Florida and I walked into like a restaurant that had a bunch of people, I did, and I'm pretty much a, hey, act as if, if you're in a place like you're supposed to be here type thing. I did have some thoughts. I'm like, all right, so what am I supposed to do? Am I not supposed to stand near people, or what am I supposed
mask
to?
on?
Okay, that guy doesn't have a mask on. Like,
Yeah.
so that guy, do I just go, am I just going to get it then? Like, like there is a lot of questions as we roll back in there. And I think the way we're all just going to have to handle it is like, to each their own.
Yeah, do what you're comfortable with.
Exactly.
But there's going to be a lot of people that want to get their ass back in that dance floor.
Yeah. It's tough to walk into a place and see a guy without a mask on and be like, oh, so we're doing this. And then everyone's taking them off, Hey, be as is. You see a guy without a mask.
No, not be as. Act as if.
Be as if.
You can do that, though, too.
Act as if. All right.
For instance, if you're walking onto a crowd or onto a stage in front of a crowd of 2,800 people who are expecting you to be a stand-up comedian, like, just act as if. Okay, if you're walking into an NFL game and you've never done 2 of the things you're supposed to do before, like holding and punting in that style, just act as if. If you're professional wrestling, you know what I mean, and you happen to be in a cage match, okay, let's act as if. In this particular case, don't act as if just yet.
Be as if.
Don't be as if either. Be as if later if they got to figure it out, because you are in a area where, I already got fucking Pollen jackknifing my goddamn vocal cords. I don't need Uncle COVID coming through your mustache to me because you're being as if.
No, I clean this thing every single day. Speaking of being as if.
We got to get to it, bro.
Oh, okay.
No, what is it, though?
The idea of you coming out of high school and punting for the Colts in like 2006 is electric.
Yeah, it would have been field goal kicking, and we would have won a Super Bowl. They won a Super Bowl.
You get a ring.
But they also had Adam Vinatieri, so they would not have been in the market for a high schooler.
Who need a punter?
That would not have worked out well. Or maybe it would have.
Yeah. You never know. Hold on.
I get in there with sports science and scientists and everything like that. Maybe I can touch my toes now, too.
Oh.
Nah, it wouldn't have worked. I would have ruined it. First paycheck, 18-year-old, over.
Yeah.
That one would have been over. Nick would have been flying wherever the hell we were, wherever the hell I was, and that thing would have been spent before the next game. I'm lucky it didn't happen to me, but others shouldn't be held back because of my stupidity. If a kid can emotionally, maturity, and physically handle it, going to the NBA, they should be allowed to.
Go with yours.
Do we not live in a world that is free?
Hell yeah.
Come on.
Be as if. We got to get to a break. Phone calls on the other side. This is the Pat McAfee Show, Monday, March 8th.
Hello and welcome to Office Championship Wrestling live in Indianapolis, Indiana. Tonight we have a straight to hell match in which the devil will battle against our office wrestler, Dylan Boston. You might be wondering how we got here. Let's find out right now.
And now we have to make a deal with the devil.
Yeah, no big deal. Classic trial by combat situation. We got our champion, Dylan Bostic. All he's got to do, win the match, 1, 2, 3, and we're home safe.
The only man that would take the job to protect us from the devil himself, Dylan Bostic.
Like you mentioned, Pat, there's probably about 5 or 6 other guys we'd rather have in this position, but we'll take Bostic, I guess.
Not only are all of our souls on the line, the Office Championship Wrestling Championship presented by Natural Light is also on the line.
Jesus, the devil's trying to put Bostic right to hell!
I do not want to go to
God,
hell!
no!
Don't do
Good
it!
God, no! Come on, Bostic, Pat!
Oh, no! Oh, my...
I'll see you in hell, Pat. The goddamn Easter Bunny's out here! What the hell's he doing here?
The Easter Bunny is obviously here to help Dylan Bostic. Wait a minute. No!
No, no!
The Easter Bunny's been on the devil's side this whole time. Jesus Christ! Jesus Christ!
What the hell's Jesus Christ doing here?
The power of Christ is compelling Dylan Bostic.
Look at this, Pat! Jesus Christ is bringing Bostic back to life! Jesus is going insane! And now Bostic's kicking wholesale ass in the ring!
Jesus Christ has come to help Dylan Bostic defeat the devil and defeat the Easter Bunny. What's gonna happen here?
Good God Almighty, it looks like he's going up in the scissor lift!
Jesus is lifting the scissor lift! Jesus is now telling Bostic to come down from
Don't do it, Bostic! Don't do it! Oh my God! Bostic's dead! He's dead! You can't tell from home, but that scissor lift is about 8 stories up, Pat!
80 feet in the air! Oh wait! He's tuning up the bed! The devil!
Super kick! Into the casket! The devil goes down! The devil goes down!
He shuts the casket!
Straight
back to hell! The devil goes straight back to hell, where he belongs!
With the assist from Jesus Christ of Nazareth!
Dylan Bostic saves the PMI office's souls and wins the OCW Championship right here on our first OCW Straight to Hell.
McAfee at the top of the key, 5 seconds, 4 seconds, step back, 3 for the win. It's good! Smash! It's not Sunday because the bank is open!
This is the Pat McAfee Show on Sirius XM Mad Dog Sports Radio. We thank you for taking the time to seek out this small regional show that streams internationally. Here's Pat and the boys.
Our presenting sponsor today wants you to know that COVID spring break is right around the corner.
Oh, yeah.
And you know what that means. Spring break in your pants. Manscaped is here to ensure that the party in your pants never stops. Even Veronica Corningstone wouldn't say no to this pants party.
Nice. Sick reference.
That's an Anchorman reference.
Yep.
Hell yeah. Nailed it.
For everyone preparing a pants party this spring break, I have an exclusive 20% off discount when you go to manscaped.com/Pat. Manscaped is dedicated to helping you level up your full body grooming game. The Perfect Package 3.0 kit comes with the Essential Lawnmower 3.0, which is waterproof, cordless body trimmer, and a ton of other liquid formulations to round out your grooming routine.
That's what I'm talking about.
This is the best trimmer on the market for those of you that need a chest or ball shave. It's a third-generation trimmer featuring a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to advanced skin-safe technology pioneered by Manscaped. You can also adjust settings to get a length you like, and you can stay atop of it with almost no effort at all. Don't ruin any vibes this spring break or upcoming summer with some peaking pubes coming out of your swimsuit. Be sure to use their Crop Cleanser body wash to keep your hair and skin feel healthy and fresh. For a limited time, subscribers get 2 free gifts: the Shed Travel Bag, which is a $39 value, and the patented high-performance reduced chafing Manscaped boxers when you become a subscriber. Do yourself a favor and always use the right tools for the job. Get 20% off and free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Pat. That's manscaped.com/Pat. 20% off with free shipping by going to manscaped.com/Pat. Say aloha to your new beautiful balls with Manscaped.
Love it.
Pants party.
Yeah, that was good.
See you there.
That was pretty good by them, wasn't it?
Yep, I wasn't expecting it.
Good for Manscaped.
Yeah.
We appreciate that type of thing.
Yes.
When your life is continually one thing, when there's a little bit of a 12-6 curveball in it.
Yeah.
It's
nice.
Appreciate it. Shout out to manscaped.com/Pat, 20% off free shipping. In the first hour, or maybe just a little bit ago, I'm not 100% sure when we did this speaking, earlier this hour, I think, we talked about a report that we saw a graphic on Bleacher Report Gridiron. Can we please put the graphic up? The graphic from Bleacher Report Gridiron, BR Gridiron, says, rumor, Tom Brady wants Odell on the Bucs. It would be challenging for the reigning champs to acquire Beckham due to his contract. This is via ESPN's Adam Schefter on Get Up, it says on the post.
Okay.
Listen, if Adam Schefter is reporting something, especially of this magnitude, we are going to cover it.
Yeah.
We did not watch Get Up this morning. I missed it. That is 100% on me. I was counting my winnings from gambling all weekend on FanDuel. I apologize for that. But reading this graphic, it sure looked like Adam Schefter, a man who knows people at different places, a man that knows more than I did about the team I was on when I was in the NFL, is saying Odell Beckham Jr., OBJ, one-handed freak athlete, absolute man who's electrifying, is going down to join the Tampa Bay Buccaneers after winning a Super Bowl, and Tom Brady wants him down there after the cleat gift of the GOAT thing to Tom Brady. We got a report on it. We talked about it. It actually led to an entire conversation about teams and everything like that. At this exact moment, I would like to let everybody know, Adam Schefter sent me a DM and said, I never said anything like that. I never said that.
I never said that.
I never said that. So Adam Schefter never said that, is what Adam Schefter said to us after seeing our tweet about this whole situation. So now we got to ask the deeper question. Did we get bamboozled? Did we get hoodwinked by Bleacher Report Gridiron? And do we have to keep an eye on because remember, they're the ones that got me into a war with Juju Bees.
That's right. Oh boy.
Now listen, we appreciate Bleacher Report Gridiron, okay? They do a job on the internet of, rounding up rumors and information, and we obviously appreciate that as a group of NFL fans. We like anybody that helps gather information. But did they just set us up for failure? Feels like it. Now, am I going to have to watch every episode of everything now? Is that the game? Son of a bitch. ESPN's Adam Schefter reported Monday on Get Up that Brady might want the 3-time Pro Bowler, but it would be challenging to fit a wide receiver in that number on top of everything else they're trying to get done there. Okay, is this a Bleacher Report article here? This is a Bleacher Report article
that was referenced, yes.
Okay, so this is on Bleacher Report, and then BR Gridiron took the might want the 3-time Pro Bowler too. Tom Brady wants. Oh, it's a dirty game out here.
It's a dirty game.
BR Gridiron. And our show does very well. People read about it, okay? It does. So a lot of people hear this, okay? So we do apologize for being a misinformation peddler, but I would like to let you know, I'm not a big, point the finger person, because, every time you point one finger, there's 3 fingers pointing back, okay? That's why you got to point all 4. We got bamboozled. We will do better research. Can't do what you just did.
You can't point 4 at...
Yeah, but the way you were doing it.
I didn't even realize. Oh, the Matt Hardy delete.
Yeah, that is.
Okay.
Well done.
That was what you were doing
Yeah.
over there, and I'm happy it was not on camera.
Me too. I'm glad. Yeah, me too.
Because that would not be a misinformation what you were doing there with your four fingers.
Hey, look, I just want BR Gridiron to, report accurately.
Can we
on
fucking tighten
Shefty.
it up? Okay.
I mean, when we see Shefty's name next to something, that's gospel.
Gospel might as well have been Jesus himself.
Yeah. It's NFL offseason. Come on.
By the way, Massacre Monday too.
Yeah.
You cannot do that.
Not just a regular week.
Bro, they and then they just sat that thing right in front of our fucking hole that we live in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then as soon as we woke up, look at that. And then, wham!
Gotcha.
Fucking firestorm, pal. He never said it. He never said it. As they're fucking reeling it in.
Now we're sitting in a cooler with a bloody mouth.
I did watch a bass fishing tourney this weekend.
How was it?
I'll tell you what. So I learned some things about these bass too. Spotted bass, those one's a little frantic, okay?
Yeah.
Big mouth, large mouth, whatever the fuck it is.
Yep.
Lazy sons of bitches.
Yeah.
They are lazy of the bunch. So you got to really kind of get to them. They're not doing. They're the alligator as opposed to the crocodile that's out there fucking get it. I guess the big mouth sons of bitches are just kind of lazy. You got to find them. So I guess that's why the radar is so good for the big mouth.
That makes sense. Was Kevin Van Dam out there freaking just angling all weekend?
Yeah.
I mean, who was the pick to
So the
click?
thing about that, Rob, his brother, was actually driving the fucking boat, and they were flying around. I mean, it was incredible. You should have seen. There was a frog in front of them. They splashed it. It was like 5-star television. You know what I mean?
Man, you hit a future on a bass fishing competition on FanDuel.
That's coming.
It's game.
Well, the guy from Indiana is the guy, Jacob Wheeler. He's the guy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
World's greatest angler.
Not a sport, but I watched the Mormon thing. We got bombs.
BYU you played this weekend?
No. The Murder Among Mormons on Netflix.
Doc.
Yeah. They got bombs and shit.
Uh-oh.
It got pretty real. I learned a lot about, I've seen Book of Mormon.
Sure.
Mm-hmm. I am a cultured person, so I'm not scared to go to Broadway or play or anything like that.
Oh, no.
Of course not.
I've seen Book of Mormon numerous times. Hamilton, please. Saw it in the original theater.
Whoa.
Overpaid for the tickets. Want to see what it was all about? Not bad. I actually enjoy watching people perform live and just kind of seeing them do their thing without missing. It's very impressive. So I enjoy live shows, basically. Book of Mormon, I saw that. I thought I knew. Austin Collie, teammate of mine. Mitt Romney was running for president while Austin Collie was a teammate of mine. All bullshit now, hindsight, now that I'm older and understand. It was alleged he was going to win. Mm-hmm. He was going to go. So I asked Austin, I'm like, hey, if this guy's going to be a president, I would like to know what he believes. So 30 minutes during a conditioning period, Austin Collie taught me the Mormon, basically a 30-minute lesson. Learned a lot more watching the Murder Among Mormons thing. Learned a lot about that religion. It is wild. And there's some streams crossing up there. There's some stories that are, as if with every religion, I would recommend watching the Murder Among Mormons thing there.
2-parter, 3-parter?
Three.
Okay.
I think it's 3.
Worth the time investment, though?
It's interesting because I did say I watched it. I did not complete it.
Okay.
Because I got it,
Mm-hmm. Okay, so maybe just the first part.
So
I watched I watched 50% of it.
Okay. All right.
I'm not sure how it ends, but I probably guess.
You knew where it was going.
Yeah, I know what we're doing.
Okay.
I see the game. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Tom and Jerry, I did not expect
you
that
are
outcome.
playing a dangerous game, my friend.
Me? It's kind of how I've lived, though. Yeah, that's kind of the whole thing. I think I get it, though. This guy, Mark, he was uncovering some shit.
Mark the Mormon or Mark the detective?
Mormon Mark was a historian of the Mormon religion. He caused problems over there.
Challenging authority.
Well, not just authority, basically the entire...
The existence.
Oh,
the way of
Mark.
life.
He came straight for Joe.
Mark.
Yeah.
And his plate.
The gold plates, it was numerous. It's not about the gold, by the way. It's about the words that are on the gold plate, which people will never understand. Okay, if you weren't there with Joseph. He's got letters from back then he found that said some things.
Always. Letters are always the demise.
$300,000 documents they're selling. The McClellan pages.
Well, you get a declaration for $2 million, so
that's where the starting bid is. We are going to try to get that.
yes, thank you.
I don't know if it's the NFT or the FT one, but I'm going to pay $2 million for whichever one. It's the FT, the fungible trade.
I believe so.
Because the non-fungible trades are at the moment skyrocketing.
Yes, they are.
I think you could touch that. You could touch this one.
I get the actual fucking Declaration of
The
Independence.
FT.
I believe it's one of
One
20.
of the copies.
Just right here?
Yeah. Ooh, right behind you.
Might have to get that.
2 million's a little low.
See, AJ.
It's probably going to go up higher, right?
Oh, yeah. I would assume so.
How much did that one NFT graphic? 6.6 million, I think. I would assume the Declaration of Independence is going to go. Wait till Rick from Pawn Stars gets out there.
jeez.
That thing's going to go. Then you got that guy from
Oh, yeah.
Storage Wars.
Dave Hester.
Oh, my God, it's going to yodel. That thing is going to yodel. Oh, dude. Wait, what was non-family member round name in Pawn Stars?
Chumley?
Chumley. Wait till Chumley gets it.
What a description.
He's just a friend of the family, dude.
Husky Circle.
Huh?
He's a Husky Circle type of guy.
Yeah. I think he got thinner, by the way. He was using some other stuff.
Yeah.
Nice.
He got real thin, I think.
There you go.
Not in a healthy fashion, but Chumley got me through some nights, so I appreciate your service to my life there.
That's good. I thought he was dead.
I don't think he died. I do think he went to jail, though, for a little bit. I think he was out there slanging some things. Might have been getting high off his own supply, too, which you can't do.
No.
Saw the Biggie doc as well. Worth it. Speaking of not getting high off your own supply.
Yeah.
Have you guys watched it?
I need to. I don't think I'm going to do that tonight.
Anything else you got? How about The Intimidator? Have you guys watched The Intimidator yet? Unbelievable, this show. I tried
ESPN
to-
Plus?
No, it's E6. Well, I don't know what ESPN Plus or ESPN is. How was the fight, by the way? Did the operating
man.
system do well this time?
That app fucking stinks.
Yeah,
ESPN
I mean,
Plus?
yeah, no matter what you're trying to watch, it's supposed to be like you can get games are blacked out all the time, even if you're out of market. Like it asks you to sign in when you already are signed in. It's a goddamn sham. You know, what are you gonna do? I can't do anything about it. I'm beholden to it. Still need to use it, but the tech is not great, at least on a smart TV.
So I didn't stay up for the fight. I did donate though.
Sure.
I donated to the fight. I'll
Nice
buy
of
it.
you.
Sure.
I appreciate what you guys are doing here, but I'm not going to stay up for this whole thing. I woke up the next morning very, very, very surprised about old buddy losing to that big Polish guy.
Yeah.
And then I started watching some clips. I mean, whenever you're that size, I guess you can just eat punches, and that's just kind of the story of the fight, I guess.
Yeah.
There, huh?
Yeah.
That thing went all 5 rounds.
Oh, yeah. Whole way. It was a late one. And for Dana White, I love the guy. But ever since that he set war against the hackers, the streams have been crisp. They have not even wavered a little bit.
So you watch a stream?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't watch and I paid, so we didn't do any.
Offsets.
Yeah, we kind of offset it.
As long as the offsets, we're good.
Let's go to Josh in Jersey. What's going on, Josh?
Oh, what's up, man? How you doing, Pat?
Hey, not too shabby. How are you?
Boys.
I'm drinking a medicine ball thing right now.
It's tasty, huh?
Yeah, it's something.
Fucking love that. Just wanted to let you know I also I'm a WV alumni like you, so
let's go Mountaineers.
Pride there.
Let's go Mountaineers. What do you want to talk about, Josh?
Yeah, so I was looking at Twitter the other day, and Ty tweeted something interesting, so I'm going to pull that up here. So it talks about the Skip Bayless getting paid $8 million a year thing, and then you look at the viewership that show gets on YouTube, it's about 42 million, second only to you guys at 54 million.
Thank you.
I'm going to double that because of Shannon and Skip, and then we're going to value your show out. I did the math. You guys are about $22 million. So essentially, I was just asking, how does it feel, the gratification of being successful in the media business compared to the NFL business? That was my question.
Josh, I appreciate everything you just laid out right there. Made us look awesome and did it better than I could probably do it. But, yeah, it feels pretty good, dude. It feels pretty good. It feels pretty good. Like, my immediate reaction to Skip Bayless deal was like, this is awesome.
Nice.
Like, that was literally my first reaction. But very similar to how you feel in that exact moment, when you're the last one at the table and it's a flip cup race, and your cup, instead of bobbling around or fucking around, just hits cleanly. And then the other one's a little bobbling. That moment, with your side of the table there is something that I would put with winning massive game. Like, I would put that moment with your team celebrating. I feel like people always assume, like, if it's in the NFL, it's got to be this big or whatever. How big can it really be within your own brain? Sure. You know what I mean? Yeah. If you're at super hypeness, is it going to get that much higher because it's a AFC Championship game, Sugar Bowl? Probably. But then there's always that moment, though, in real life. That's why when people say, like, oh, he's got to be nervous for this, for sure. But no more nervous, I'd assume, than some freshman little nerd kid who's at a beer pong table who has an entire party looking at him. He has 1 cup left. I assume that is a pretty daunting task. Now, the outcome is congrats. You got some free beer. Oh, we just made millions of dollars. There is a little bit different on the other side. But internal success is something that I think you can experience in a lot of places, and you should experience in even the smallest of places, so you can feel good about everything that's going on. So, I mean, didn't really answer his question, but I think more people should look to celebrate things, even the smaller things, because they're all pretty awesome.
Well, especially when you're proving people wrong. Some people are telling you.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, that's always
keep the jersey on. Now here we are. Skip Bayless.
And just like there's probably people telling you you're not going to, you know what I mean? There are some moments at a flip cup table that I do look back and I'm like, maybe greatest moment ever. Maybe great. Just whenever you walk into somebody's party, and there's a little bit of something going on, and it's like you literally and your boys versus like them, and it's an away stadium. You're in an away stadium. And then you add booze, and then it is. And then on the flip side, by the way, you feel terrible when you get buried.
Oh yeah. Oh. It's almost a night ender.
It keeps coming back.
Yes.
It's a game of golf. Hour 2 wrapping up here. Hour 3 is on the other side. We got AJ Hawk joining us. You got about 6 minutes. We'll see you then.
Lakers, welcome to the Blender, the home of a team and a fan base on a playoff push the likes the world has never seen before. Crescent City, get on your feet for tonight's starting lineups, brought to you by Sprite, an incredibly refreshing drink. Starting at forward was the number 2 overall pick in the 2016 NBA draft. Now he's an NBA All-Star, Brandon Ingram. At forward, this man has been dunking on little white kids on the internet for 10 years. The incomparable, unstoppable 6'6" phenom, Zion Williamson. At center, standing at 8 feet tall, from Georgia Tech, number 22, Derek Favors. This man's family had a reality show in Lithuania. He was born and raised in LA, but he found his J in the N-O. Lonzo Ball. And the OG of the roster. On the court, he's a monster. Braids hanging, shots banging. It's not Drew, it's Drew Holiday. Let's get this done. Thank you very much. Go Pelicans.
Tired of me right now.
That's how you play basketball.
some bowls for Reds Panda, fly back to Indianapolis. Success story, Foxy. What a fucking night.
What's the most beer you did in one night you think of one of those shows?
Well, I never forget when we went to Japan one time. Dudley, Stacy Keebler. I mean, there were so many people out there. I think we went through 103 or 108. Now, between just for myself, you know, I'd always make sure to have about a 12 or 18 pack there. And, you know, here's the thing when some people say, oh, shit, man, you got too much of that beer on. You don't even know how to drink beer. It's like, dude, fuck you. You don't know what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to entertain 20,000 people in an arena. If I just go out there and sip it real properly, how fucking exciting is that? So when you're out there on an empty belly and you're shotgunning beers and all that shit's going in, the half that was going in was for me. The half that was going on was for them. Nice. But I'm telling you, Pat, when you shotgun a bunch of beers like that and you're drinking about half of each beer, you got a pretty damn good buzz when you come out. And that's a sacrifice I was willing to make every single night.
I would assume you were pretty fucked up, yeah. When did you start self-cheersing? When did you start self-cheersing? Was that something you did in college? You're like, hey, Steve, good for me, man. Like, when did that start?
No, you know what? I got to give credit to Sandman for starting that, but he was bashing him off his head, and I don't remember, and it wasn't because Sandman was doing it, so I don't want to say I copied him, but he was the first. So, and then my style was, because people always get us confused. They'll say, yeah, man, you used to bang them on your head. No, motherfucker, I was the guy that clacked them together. It was just something we came up with. I don't know how the beers got introduced to the ring, but it became a thing, and we ran with it.
The Pat McAfee Show.
There'll be no rules for our guests, for us, for the things we could talk about.
Speaking his mind.
I've never had a problem expressing my opinions or my thoughts or anything like that.
While being relatable.
I haven't had that manufactured fake-ass celebrity that a lot of people have whenever they go on those big networks. I've had a chance to really build my crew, build my following, build my audience.
And ridiculous.
What am I supposed to do? So I'm supposed to look at something that I can definitely afford and say, nah. Is that what I'm supposed to do?
The Pat McAfee Show starts in 3, 2, 1.
Hello, Monday, March 8th, 2021, years after zero. Hour 3 of this sports show on SiriusXM Channel 82, Mad Dog Sports Radio begins right now. Joining us, college football national champion, Super Bowl champion, AJ Hawk. AJ, I've been battling in this voice all day, man. How are you doing over there, pal?
I'm doing well. How do you think this is going to go for the rest of the week? Like, are you going to be able to have like vocal rest tonight?
You know, I'm not sure. I'm actually scheduled to do an interview tonight that's supposed to be like an hour and a half long, so it's more talking than normal. I'm sure it's going to go fantastic. I did Saturday and Sunday try not to speak as much, you know, but it's hard. Hey, it is hard. It is. I don't know how anybody could do it, especially, you know, me and my wife have a weekend. We're hanging out. It's like, I feel like a dick here. But it's not. So it could be a long week, I'd assume, AJ. I got this medicine ball thing. Somebody told me this is the right move. It's not bad. I think it's helped a little bit.
What's in it? Is it for people's voice? Like it's a Starbucks drink on the menu?
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure what it is. Somebody just tweeted it and said, hey, I got an idea for you. And their Twitter didn't look like it was a fake. So I assume they wouldn't be lying to me, you know, like Bleacher Report did. Hey, AJ, I don't know if you saw the predicament we got ourselves in last hour. Bleacher Report put out a graphic that basically said Tom Brady wants Odell on the Bucs via Adam Schefter. Then we read the article, and it's like Tom might want Odell. Like it's we got a little bit. You know what I mean? We got, and I think it's because I just see it. I'm like, Bleacher Report, they would do their, and then you do it. It's like, oh, we got to get better over here, AJ. We got to get better. I can't be getting got like that anymore.
Well, was Adam Schefter actually involved, or was that just part of it? They just said he reported this.
Well, that is interesting because the Adam Schefter part of it is what makes it such a big deal because it's Adam Schefter. You know what I mean? Like it's old, a damn Schefter out there doing his thing, making his news. They said he said that on Get Up this morning. That was just a social media post. And then you go to the actual website, there's an entire article about this thing where he says like he might want him or something like that, but it's going to be tough with, I would assume Tom Brady has a friendship with Odell Beckham, was asked like, hey, would you want Odell? Because trading Odell seems to be the conversation every single offseason. And he's like, yeah, I would love Odell here. It's going to be challenging with Blub. I assume the way that the information was relayed to Schefter was just hey, yeah, I would love him, but I don't know if that's possible. And then bang, it gets spun into boom, to pow, to graphic, to this show, to fuck DMs. I never said that. I'm like, okay, it's kind of my life now, you know?
Yeah, why is it even news though? Like someone could say, hey, you want Hopkins? Yeah, would love to have Hopkins. Yeah. Name any receiver in the NFL that is one of the superstars. Yeah, I'll take him. Of course, that'd be great. Can we bring them all on? Like, I don't have to worry about it.
Hey, Tom Brady, do you want Julio Jones on your team? Oh, yeah, I would love him. It's going to be a little bit difficult within the division. You know, it's going to be a little bit difficult. But if we can get him on the team, I would absolutely love it. Fitzpatrick's retiring. February 2nd, allegedly, this is John Clayton's reporting. I have to. Big J journalism. According to John Clayton, formerly of ESPN, a man who's from Forest Hills, Pennsylvania, which is within Pittsburgh, he is reporting that Ryan Fitzpatrick, due to the market for free agency, is leaning. Oh, now, though.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, no.
I did not know that.
I did not know that either. This was quite a set of circumstances to be dropped here. For those that are listening only on Sirius, we were just shown the report that was telling us that Fitzpatrick was leaning toward retirement. And guess who it's from? No.
Son of a bitch.
AJ, your thoughts on how this is potentially completely wrong here?
Wait, so this is the same account that got you on the last one and you assumed this one was real?
Yeah, but you got to remember going into today, although this account had dropped me into a war with Juju Smith-Schuster's people by taking a quote with the worst photo of me. The New York Post wrote another article, worst photo of me.
Yep.
Ever, which I appreciate. It was at Indy 500, okay? I couldn't even tell you what cloud I was on in that photo that they use for everything. But they took a quote from our show and said, I said that Juju stinks. They basically said, Pat McAfee says Juju stinks. And then all of a sudden, I'm in a fucking war for 2 days. I didn't even know this account existed, by the way, until then. And then all of a sudden, I go through their little Instagram and I go, oh, this is why this is happening. So I comment on there, fuck you. That is all that was my comment on there. That was it. They sent me a message back. We apologize, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, oh, that's very cool of you. I'm like, I'm happy we settled that. No worries. Like, well, Bleacher Report, obviously, we love Bleacher Report, a lot of information from there. So then like 2 hours pass, I'm still getting killed. I go back to their Instagram, they didn't change shit. Come on. And I'm like, yo. So I send a DM, I'm like, yo. And they're like, oh, we'll take it down. I'm like, yeah, like that's what I wonder if Shefty had him do the same exact thing, I wonder. And by the way, should we respect the fact that Bleacher Report Gridiron is just like, yeah, fuck him, we'll delete it if we have to.
Stir the pot. But that is interesting because I did not, and because I believe the Fitzpatrick, this graphic came out, a couple days ago. So I didn't think anything of it at the time.
Me neither.
I assumed, hey, there's some legitimacy to this. John Clayton wouldn't lie to us. No.
Different times.
John Clayton was misquoted. And was John Clayton misquoted last week about J.J. Watt from this account? Oh. Is that what this account does? Is this McCockner running Bleacher Reports?
Wait, so what is this Gridiron account? I know you guys have talked about this before. This is just like the football part of Bleacher Report's Twitter?
Well, that's what we thought. But now we're...
Are they affiliated with Bleacher Report?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. For sure? Do we know that for sure?
For sure, because the Bleacher Report article about Tom Brady and Odell actually was the thing that led from this. So you know what I mean? Like it is. Man.
That's why you kind of have to respect that they put the full quote on the website and then like, hey, let's just spin this fucking thing and put it on IG and let's see where it goes.
No, it's classic headlines move needles.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We're doing a little research back here.
Okay.
So there is some validity. This is from CBS out of Boston, if you want to start at the top there.
Ryan Fitzpatrick looks like he's going to retire, John Clayton wrote. The Broncos did make some contact with him. He's been with 8 teams and played a long time, but it looks like he's going to be out of the mix. Of course, free agency does not technically begin until March 17th, with the legal negotiating window opening on March 15th. So while Fitzmagic and his agent have likely gotten indication from enough teams to get the sense of lack of interest, something could obviously change in the coming week. Okay.
Huh. I mean, why does that other news have to be implanted before the next paragraph?
Yeah, and why not just copy and paste his entire quote as opposed to saying, copying what he wrote, and then writing in what you know what I mean? That's an interesting. I gave a quote one time to the news here on something. And it was a great quote. I thought it out. Like, I literally thought it was via text, like, hey, do you have anything to say about this thing or whatever? And I'm like, you know what, I don't normally do this, but I will. So I send this long quote, well thought out, had a beginning and an end, like a button up at the end, you know? I send it to them. They put the first sentence, Pat McAfee responded. And then they put like, they do like eliminate a sentence, and then he went on to, and then this other thing, and then the final one, I'm like, that, actually, I mean, it is kind of what I said, but that is not what I actually, just copy and paste. I fucking did your job for you here.
Yeah, come
just
on.
Go ahead and copy and paste it, but you always gotta, get in the angle of the storyteller that's writing the thing.
I bet there's some people that are absolutely professionals that get paid big money for big corporations or big, I don't know, papers, whatever, media places, to where they could take like quotes and they can spin them to where, hey, we're not going to get sued for this, but we're going to get a headline that'll get your attention, and it's definitely out of context, and maybe there is a tiny bit of truth to it so they can protect themselves.
Yeah, they got 10 Billy Tubes over there working up YouTube titles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's a scary room.
That would be a very intelligent room. Take it easy with the shots on Billy Tubes there, but
I didn't say anything about his intelligence. I complimented his intelligence.
From being scary?
I mean, okay, continue. This is not a Billy. I don't want to kill Billy. I was complimenting him on being a serial killer or being intelligent.
Billy writes the titles for the YouTube. You know what I mean? Pat McAfee reacts to, and then whatever it is or whatever. He got me into a war with the Carolina Panthers with one of the titles. What? And I had to send him a text. I was like, did I say this? And he was like, kind of. I was like, oh my God. Billy, I had to go do a radio tour down there to clear up my state because the headline, now Billy, that is literally the only time, and there has been some hilarious titles to YouTube videos and reaction videos, but that's the only time if we had an entire team of Billies, it would be fantastic. And by the way, I think Bleacher Report Gridiron needs a Billy because Billy has the ability to get that grabber without just throwing somebody in the middle of a fucking war, except for that one time with the Carolina Panthers.
What did you say about the Panthers?
So it was Christian McCaffrey. It felt like Christian McCaffrey's team, when Cam got hurt, and I forget how we titled it. But what did you have me say?
Pat McAfee says that Cam Newton hates Christian McCaffrey.
Bill. So you did it to yourself.
What's that?
So he just did it. He did this to you, like it was.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like
in your own house, yeah. That's
so I actually sent him a text because I was starting to get tweets again. This was just like the Juju thing where I'm getting like, this fucking punter shouldn't even talk, blah. And I'm like, why are these people? And I click on this thing and it's like #Panthers, whatever it is. I'm like, why do all these Panthers fans hate me? And then somebody screenshot and said, this is absolute garbage. And I'm like, so I screenshot that. I sent it to Bill. I go, did I say that? Like instead of watching the entire video, I was like, did I actually? Because I was wondering. I was like, did I come out and say it? Then I would have to go check the tone and everything. And Bill was like, kinda. And I was like, well, and Bill, by the way, took the compliment. Like a lot of people talking about it.
Hey, look what we're doing. You did your job.
I mean, you had a radio tour in Charlotte.
You did your job, Billy. Like that's the ultimate compliment for him. Hey, it got some traction.
Now, Bill, that's the only time that has ever happened, right? I think that's the only time that's ever happened.
I think there's been a couple times we've reworked it, but that's the only time that it's been like actual reaction from people.
Oh shit.
Yeah, a screenshot.
But that is a talent, especially in this world. You have to get people to stop from whatever. So I understand that Bleacher Report Gridiron's got to do their thing, but there has to be a way not to just fucking completely fabricate and lie about stuff.
Checks and balances.
Yeah, Shefty's got to be getting in there too. Hey, look, go straight to the source. He DM'd you. Hey, I didn't say that. You got to DM BR Gridiron.
He probably didn't even know they exist.
He did because the original tweet's gone. I'm assuming he did. They did delete the original tweet.
I do believe I did send him a
spotlight.
I mean, kind of a snitch, I guess.
No, he would have saw it either way.
What'd you do?
I wouldn't.
You sent that to him. You said, "Hey, did you say this?"
No, he said, "I never said that." It was basically, It was basically his DM was like, "Hey, I never said that, Pat," like something like that, because he reacted to our tweet about the reaction to his alleged report that was fabricated by Bleacher Report. So then I said, "Oh, my fault. We were strictly reacting off of this." We will retract and apologize, which has led to this 25-minute conversation. So,
how are we ever going to do anything in the future? Like with all of this, how do you ever believe anything when it can be taken out of context? And also, the Tom Cruise deepfakes are what I think are scaring a lot of people. Are we ever going to be able to trust any video in the future?
You can't, but you literally can't. Everything's bullshit. Like, okay, so there's dudes almost kissing the rim right now and dunking it, which is unbelievable. But everybody's saying it's bullshit. Okay, like, that's bullshit. That stinks. That dunk contest stinks. That's because the things that we see on the internet are so ridiculous, so death-defying, so incredible, so magnificent. And with those videos on the internet, you have to think, oh, this is edited. This is fake. This is this. There's that video of that guy flicking a bottle cap off the wall, undoing one bottle, that thing popping up, flicking another one, it hitting off of that one and spinning back onto the bottle, okay? So obviously, absolutely, I can't even put some whenever you hold it. It obviously, but it was perfected. The edit was so good that it got everybody. Everybody's like, look at this, look at this, look at this. So I think the Tom Cruise thing definitely solidifies like, oh, that's probably not even the person that you think it is. But with everything on the internet, you have to look at it from the eyes of that's bullshit. And that's just the world that we're at because of the technology and the foxies that are out there that have the ability to just do whatever they want. And these filters now make you whoever you want to be whenever you want to be.
Well, the hard thing though is how do you ever that it is real or not? You can. It's easy enough to get confirmation that it was fake, but it's hard to get it that it's real.
You got to get them to send a picture of them holding a fork, a knife, and a spoon with a newspaper from today.
Ooh. Okay. I'll ask for that. I'll send that.
That's called the catfish killer, dude.
Yeah.
You're welcome. You're welcome. How come Nev never said that the entire time?
That's a good question.
Just have him send a picture with a fork and knife in one hand and a spoon in the other with today's newspaper.
Pretty easy.
Just have them send it. If they don't want to talk video, cool. Just have them send that photo. Fucking no problem. Nobody has that one in the bank.
Will you take a spork?
That's following the line.
Can't, because there's probably a spork one on the internet that they'll send. Let's get some phones. Let's get some phones, shall we? Let's go to Austin in Wisconsin. What's going on, Austin?
Yo, what's good, homies? How we doing?
Not too shabby. How are you, pal?
Yeah, it's a Monday. I got a couple of a little bit of conspiracy theories for you involving Russell Wilson shindig in Seattle.
I like that.
We know that he's not happy with Pete Carroll and his scheme. We all know that sort of thing. But then we look at Tom Brady and Bill about how Tom wanted to prove that he could win without Bill. Is there a little bit of the same thing going on with Russell in Seattle? And if that is true and he does get shipped out of Seattle, let's say to like Chicago, are they going to be in the running as well to make a trade for Zach Ertz? Get Russell Wilson and Zach Ertz up in Chicago?
Great question. Does Russell Wilson want to win without Pete Carroll? Many would say that they haven't won really that much together other than years ago whenever the Legion of Boom was in the building and Marshawn Lynch was a prevalent part of the offense. So I'm not sure if it's a similar situation. I do believe winning in a different style is something that Russell would like to do. It seems like that's the narrative that's being pushed out of there, even though Pete potentially hates Russ as well. I don't know what all of it is. I'm assuming we'll find out in the days to come, maybe months to come, what was going on behind the doors. But it seems like he's not going to be a Seahawk this year.
I don't know how he can at this point. I guess we need to see Pete. We need to see him in any kind of press-related thing or answering questions. Have we seen Pete? When's the last time he's really made public comments?
No, but the thing about Pete Carroll is, he's good. He's good at talking. It's what Bob Huggins said about the governor of West Virginia at the time. Whenever he went on it, he's real good. He's good at talking. Just such an interesting way to describe it. Pete Carroll, we had Frank Luntz come talk to us. You remember Frank Luntz?
Yes.
Okay, so this guy does focus groups for politicians.
Ooh.
He came and spoke to the Indianapolis Colts. I don't know if the Colts hired him or if the NFL had him going to speak to people. And he was
came to the Packers too.
So the NFL probably hired it. And he was supposed to basically lay out ways to speak that would be more beneficial for fans to like what you're saying or whatever. Does that make sense? So he was trying to, and my big question was like, his method, by the way, he's in the sociology world, a man who was, I knew about him coming out of college. I had a sociology class or two. I knew him of his focus groups and his studies and everything like that from then. And then whenever he was speaking to us, you realize, oh, he's less shorter than I thought he was going to be. But he had these fresh ass shoes on or whatever, you know what I mean? But I had known that all of his work was in the political world. So whenever you're trying to tell a politician how to speak versus how an NFL player should speak, and at that point, I already had a rather large platform for myself that I was, you know, this guy was basically coming in and telling me not to talk the way I was talking. It felt like that is what he was saying with the words. They showed a video of numerous people doing interviews. And if it was like a graph live on the screen, like a heart monitor or whatever, you know, and if what he was saying was good, the focus group that he had at the time would press a button and it would go green while he was talking, and then a red would be something that they weren't comfortable with him saying, and then it would go to green. Pete Carroll was like the guy that like the most green, like every time he spoke, it was positive, it was upbeat, it was blah, blah, blah. And then a couple other guys are like, this is bang, bang. Like it's just a guy who doesn't want to be on camera at all is speaking or whatever. Pete Carroll, much like a politician, is a good speaker though. And he would be able to navigate these waters with this Russell Wilson situation very, very good. But man, it would be nice to see him get pressed a little bit on this entire situation behind the scenes.
Oh, it would be awesome to see. You're right though. Pete always finds a way to keep it positive. But how you laid out what that Frank Luntz's presentation was, like you laying it out was much more entertaining than actually being. I'm just telling you. It was a weird deal. Like the whole thing got awkward, I think, in Green Bay.
That was exactly what it was though, right? Like
but it sounded, how you described it, I was like, oh, tell me more. This is very interesting. I felt like the meeting was good. No, the meeting was not fun to be in.
It was an hour long. It was an hour. What I just said there was 15, 20 seconds or whatever. This thing was an hour long. And it wasn't until about, probably 7, 8 minutes in, maybe 9 minutes in, I'm like, oh, this guy's I'm not running for president. I'm a fucking ball kicker, dude. Like I'm allowed to say like, hey, go fuck yourself. Okay. People aren't expecting me, to not say that. Like it was very, all those speakers though have no chance, dude. Middle of training camp, walking into a team that is probably filled with people that are funnier than you, have probably damn near same story as you. Like that is a tough crowd to walk into, I think.
Oh, think about it. You probably have like, the O linemen are up front, all sitting together. They all have gigantic dips in. They're almost falling asleep. They're freaking out. They're farting the whole time, laughing at the guy. Like the D linemen are always loud and funny. They're the best usually. DBs are probably trying to walk out. Like it's a very, very difficult room to be in, to speak to.
Those fucking poor guys. Now that I'm thinking about Frank Luntz walking in there, he had like these American flag shoes on. He's like this world-renowned sociologist or whatever. He's walking into a room, people that are like, we just got out of fucking 8 hours worth of shit. All right, I'm gonna go sleep in a bad bed. I got a $10,000 bed at my house, but I'm forced to sleep in this shitty cot because we're at training camp. I just ran my face into a man that's 10 years younger than me. Now I got to listen to fucking your bullshit. It is. I think Frank did a relatively good job, but he was up against it walking in there.
I would imagine if those guys are speaking to every team in the NFL, they're getting paid very handsomely to do it, aren't they?
I would assume that's a very large fee.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, maybe you undercut them and actually tell the players how to speak to fans, and you go and do the 32-team tour.
I thought about like doing something with the NFLPA. Like, is there any way we could do like an advising type thing? Like, hey, this is what we think you should do, I don't know if I ever got a text back.
You good? Consulting.
Hey, you would though. They would absolutely benefit from like if teams brought you in when they have like those mandatory meetings the NFL makes teams have like to educate people on different things. Like if they brought you in, talk about like media training or like, hey, there's all different kinds of media. If you could present to teams, first off, you'd get giant money and it would actually be beneficial for those guys.
I've thought about that. I really want to help ex-NFL. Anytime I hear an NFL guy does well, I get so pumped, and not because I think, he and I, we play the same sport or anything like that. I just know a lot of it. Like a locker room, although the dynamics might be changing as the years go on and society changes and all that shit, but the amount of sacrifice that guys have to put in to be good at football to make the NFL, it could potentially lack in other areas. So whenever you see guys have success afterwards and debunk the stats and theories about 80% go bankrupt or whatever, I fucking love it. So I'm all about it. I don't know if that'll ever happen, but I mean, I should probably make really hilarious money first before I start speaking to anybody else. But it's right around the corner from what I've been told. From what I've been told. A lot of people think I'm potentially going to sell out. Don't worry. I've been a millionaire since I was 23 years old. I never changed one motherfucking time. Just, now, if I do get $1 billion, I might be tough to talk to.
A little different.
That's going to be a long time from now, though. Just know that if that ever happens, I might be tough to reach. But aside from that, let's keep this thing going. Don't go corporate. It's like, have you fucking...
Well...
Could you imagine how long that would last? That would be a very quick in and out of this.
Not very long. We save the effort too much.
Yeah, you're right.
Also, to those people, I mean, you're doing this to make money.
So Dick's like, hey, if we need to sell out. Dick's like, hey, if we need to sell out.
Having highlights.
Listen, the corporate COVID cowboy over there would fucking... Let's go to Brendan. Wants to talk about Shinigami. What's going on, dude?
Oh. Yo, what up, Pat and the boys? How y'all doing?
You know, not too shabby. How are you doing? It doesn't say where you're from, so I apologize for that. We got Gumpy working those phones back there.
Hey, that a boy, Gump. No, I'm from 45 minutes away from AJ. I live in Bellefontaine, Ohio.
Oh, okay, Ohio. All right. I probably know a lot about you already. What do you want to talk about? You know what that means.
I was just wanting to know if you was going to talk shit to Shinigami for butchering your last name.
Brendan, thank you for bringing that up. We're gonna have to get to a break after this, but this weekend,
I can't wait.
Huh?
I don't know about this. I can't wait to hear it.
Our guy Shinigami, 33-year-old Shinigami, by the way.
Ooh, yeah, I saw that in the video.
33-year-old Shinigami.
I don't know about that.
He traveled from the West Coast as the Street Beefs West Coast heavyweight champ. He traveled over to a mud pit in Virginia to fight against the OG East Coast Street Beefs heavyweight champ, Big Smile. And at the beginning, instead of a shout out, Rachel, let's do this. He gave a shout out to his sponsors. We are one of them. Just absolutely, positively slaughtered the pronunciation of my name. Just classic substitute teacher. Did not graduate. Comes in, reads that thing. McAfee? Is McAfee here? Have a little couth lady, okay? The big A after the C means Mac, all right? It's been a country's tradition since the beginning. It's fucking Scotland. Have a little respect here. Anyways, he tied.
I saw it was a draw.
Yeah.
I saw it was a draw. I didn't know about him butchering your name. You know what? I bet he knew. He's just messing with you, man. He's just trolling. He knows how to say it.
I think it's because you were pretty much laughing in his face whenever we were interviewing him.
Yeah. Oh, was I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you were.
Absolutely not. I thought I had some hard-hitting good questions, too.
You were laughing in his face.
Not even close. I was laughing at you because you sit there and just get distracted and stuff. I was dialed in.
No. Okay, I hope he didn't feel like you disrespected him, because I do plan on staying in the Shinigami business, at least until we find out whether or not he can beat up Big Smile. He almost landed a big kick early.
Oh, man.
Oh, my God. He was fighting at 4 a.m. Shinigami time, by the way. They had him tee off at 5, 6 a.m. East Coast time.
Trying to screw him over.
It was in standard definition I was watching, by the way. I could barely make out the little what are those things? Pixels. Okay, that's my guy, Pixels. Now, listen, I'm not saying it. We got to get to a break.
It's almost like if that first kick doesn't land, he does not have.
Well, here's the thing. Shinigami needs to train. I mean, guess what? When you're getting driven back into a chain link fence and smacking your body against it, that takes a lot out of you. It was evident Shinigami was not ready for that kind of grapple game.
He'll be back, though. He'd still draw. It was still a draw.
Yeah.
Well,
there'll be a rematch. There'll be a two.
What?
I mean,
That's where the money is. The money's in the rematch.
He got,
you know that.
he got TKO'd in the first round, and then they just said fuck it and came back out and fought in the second round. It made no sense.
I will say there was a couple different times I thought the fight was over, and we had another round afterwards, and that is why I am a Street Beefs fan. I was watching on my phone. It popped up out of nowhere, like literally nowhere. 11:30.
The Demon Boys got notifications on your phone?
I think Zito actually sent us in. It was like, hey, Shinigami's back to fight or whatever.
Here we go.
And I had my phone down. I might have been in my Oculus actually, and I pick up my phone. I'm like, did I miss it? And I open it. All of a sudden, it's it pixelated. I'm like, where are we? Okay, here we are. It's already started, and Shinigami's fucking getting after it. And then it didn't look good for Shinigami, and the round ended, and I was like, I think he just lost. I actually texted the group. Boys, I think Shinigami just lost. And then they're like, one more round. I'm like, wait a minute, hold. They did that like 2 more times, one more round. They put out another round, and then they were both just dead. And they're like, we'll do this again. So
was there judges?
I'm not sure exactly how the scorecard works because I felt like there was no scorecard. I felt like it was just a crowd, So we should think about that. Maybe load the crowd the next fight.
Oh, okay.
Shinigami TKO.
He won.
10-7. 10-7. Big smile is a problem, though.
Oh, yeah.
Thick skull.
They're going to have a rematch. We will hopefully be in the Shinigami business, depending upon how much it is. I did not know we could have got the middle of the back as well, I thought.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we got the tramp stamp because I was told middle of the back potentially taken or whatever.
Tramp stamp looks best, too, when you got a leg kick RKO,
Yeah, that was the marketing. We might go outside of the leg next time.
Oh, okay.
Take multiple spots.
I would like lightning bolts as our logo down the leg. All right, we're back on the other side with some more phone calls. This is the Pat McAfee Show, March 8th. This show stinks. Thanks for watching and listening. Why is football the greatest sport on earth? And do you think football is the greatest sport on earth? And why do you like football?
That's a really deep question there, Pat.
I know. I think I'd get a good answer out of you, though. Like, I think you'd be able to talk about it in a way that I think a lot of people haven't because you've been at the pinnacle of it for so damn long and inside of it. And your brain is a pretty fantastic one. We've learned here over the last few weeks, obviously. Last few weeks, that's it. That's all the time we've learned that.
I think it's the greatest sport in the world for one main reason. It is a true team sport where it is damn near impossible for one person to dominate an entire game. If you look at other team sports, basketball with 5 guys on the court, I think you've seen multiple players over the years. Maybe one player, maybe 1 or 2 players on a squad be able to dominate and win championships. Baseball, you can have a dominant pitcher and win championships. Soccer, you can have a dominant forward and or goalie. That seems to be a little more of a team sport, but you don't have 11 players engaged at the same time on every play. It is truly a sport reliant on every player on the field to do their job in order to be successful. And I think that's why at times, certain star players can get maybe too much credit and maybe too much blame on the flip side, because it does take so many players at the same time in 3 phases to win football games. And I think that's the beauty and the draw of our sport, is that something new happens all the time, because you are literally dealing with 11 humans on the field at one time who all have lives outside of football, and there's distractions, there's a reliance on coaching, there's a reliance on preparation, there's a reliance on diet and performance. I just think there's so many facets to it that you see something new every single week, and I think that's the beauty in our game. When it comes to the love that I have for it, it's rooted, and I think like any player who's played for a long time, the love is not just about our sport, it's about competition. And I think there's nothing in the world for me that fills that need and that hole I have like competition. I think if players who played for a long time at a high level, you have that need to be satiated competitively, and it's a love of going out there and going against guys and being in an environment where you know that nothing is guaranteed. And that's why at times I've taken umbrage to people saying that it's easy, because it's not easy. It's never easy. And I think that's the beauty in our game, is that you see things new every single week. It's never easy. And your only thing you're guaranteed is the ability to compete. I love that aspect of it. I love competing. I love going out there and harnessing the fear of failure, where I think so many people who maybe don't love football as much, the root of that is a deep fear of failure, that you might go out there and your best might not be good enough, and that's not okay with you.
No more lies a day. I got bills to pay, and it's my right to say when my days are done. I got wants and needs. I got hands that bleed, 'cause there are mouths to feed, more than one.
Welcome back from your bathroom break. This is the Pat McAfee Show. Here's Pat.
Thank you for that. It's very nice of her.
Thank you.
She's awesome.
How many show opens does she do, and how many people thank her, I wonder?
Probably doesn't get thanked very often.
And not enough.
Thank you, bumper woman.
Or man, by the way. As I was saying that, I was...
Thank you, bumper voice.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Bumper. Don't even want to say person. I mean, I do not know how.
You can't do it.
Can't risk that.
Sound?
Is he muted?
I don't know.
I think
Jay had him muted.
Okay.
AJ, you're muted there. Nothing you said made the air.
That's all right. I said bumper human.
But
what if it's
what
AI?
a scumbag you are.
Could be AI.
Oh, so then I'm against the robots. I'm against AI.
Yeah, be careful.
Which, by the way, they do have feelings, and they do grow stronger.
That's right. Oh, yeah.
From deep in the hills of Humboldt County, the Coastal Cowboy Dip Boys. All right, so everybody. All right, so everybody. I do appreciate this from the ad. From deep in the hills of Humboldt County, the Coastal Cowboy Dip Boys at Canadips have an exciting announcement for listeners and watchers of the show.
Hell yeah.
It is less than a month until baseball opening day. And what better way to celebrate than with a giveaway? Yes, the big game bonanza of February was nice, and over 2,000 people won free Canadips cans on the house. But this month, it is all about the big ticket items and supporting America's pastime. If you haven't been paying attention, sport cards are back, baby, and we're all in.
All right.
Canadips, the original nicotine and tobacco-free dip alternative with CBD, is going to open 2 prize boxes of Topps Definitive 2020 baseball cards on April 1st. Each cards will be autographed on both boxes combined, are worth around $4,000. There are 16 cards, and we've decided to toss in a PS5, so there will be 17 lucky winners.
Wow.
Entry is easy. Go to @Canadips Instagram and follow them, or head to CanadipsCBD.com/opening day. Simply fill out your email to be entered and double your entry with an Instagram follow. I would assume that if you follow them, you're not automatically entered. I might be wrong.
Well, I don't know. It sounds like that's what they're...
Entry is easy. Go to @CANNADIPS Instagram and follow us, or head to CanadipsCBD.com/opening day. Simply fill out your email to be entered and double your entry with an Instagram follow. So Instagram follow, you're entered.
Oh, yeah.
Easy. @CANNADIPS on Instagram. You could be one of the lucky 17 winners this March. And remember, entry is easy. Contest is open all month, and winners will be chosen randomly on March 31st. Over $5,000 in prizes dip into the competition.
All right.
Here we go.
Hell yeah.
AJ, any thoughts? Are you going to enter?
Yeah, so I just have to follow them, and I am officially entered, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the or there, pretty big.
Yeah. Give them your email address. You'll double up your entry.
Got 2.
Because and would be.
Yeah. If they pull a shiny trout from those Topps cards.
Oh.
Forgot about bass fishing.
Oh my God! How about Bauer pitching with one eye
Oh,
closed?
man.
Oh, Trevor Bauer, Dodgers. I saw a special, maybe Dateline Nightly News. He has a female agent that negotiated the largest contract in the history of MLB. I guess she has quite a story of breaking into the MLB as an agent. Is that right?
Yeah, I don't know as much about that, but I know that they were at UCLA together. She was a gymnast at UCLA, and then, I think she's starting to become like a real power player in the MLB, too.
Biggest contract in the history of MLB, female agent negotiator.
Mm-hmm.
She has a lot of big clients. She's on his YouTube channel sometimes. I think she has her own channel. I saw her with Yasiel Puig. She had multiple big name guys.
I like this younger agency thing that's popping off right now. Mulugeta might be the most powerful dude in the NFL right now. David Mulugeta.
Who's he have?
Deshaun Watson, Jalen Ramsey,
others.
That girl that's Trevor Bauer's agent. I guess she has a different structure on how they pay. You pay you have some billable hours, and maybe she has like an upfront retainer or something. It's not like a percentage like normal agents, I guess.
Oh, that's, by the way, I like the innovation there because, some agents, they do 14, 15 minutes worth of work and get paid for 5 years.
Interesting.
It's pretty good. It's pretty good. If you can get it. Let's go to Caden in Washington. What's going on, Caden?
Oh, hey, what's up, Pat? Sorry, man. Hey, so I had a quick thing about the Hawks, right? So everybody's saying that Russell needs to get out, but why don't you just flip the script and get Pete out?
Interesting, Caden. I do believe that is a conversation that's happening. There's another caller from Washington. Bill in Washington State. Russell Wilson or Pete Carroll? Are we at practice?
I think he's trying to decide.
What's he doing right now? Bill, I was about to do something really cool. I was going to go call to call with a question, tying them together. I was going to have an entire moment. This is like real.
I have a question.
Bill, I have a question for you, Bill. Great to hear from you, Bill.
This is a computer.
Bill, Russell Wilson or Pete Carroll?
So, I got my thoughts on this Russell Wilson thing, being a 49ers fan and hating the goddamn Seahawks. I want his ass out of town. If he wants to go, have the balls to say, you want to get out, and just get out.
There you have it.
Thank you, Bill. As a Niners fan, he says that.
You can't really fire Pete March 8th, Pat. It's kind of a tough time to fire your coach.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff coming up that you probably need the coach to be a part of.
You don't want to have to get a whole new coaching staff between now and the draft.
But if not now, then when? Like we've already missed Black Monday when everybody gets fired the day after the season ends or whatever. So now, could you have ever guessed when this season did come to a crashing end for the Seattle Seahawks that you'd be having to make the decision of Pete Carroll or Russell Wilson? Nobody could have guessed that. Nobody. I assume high up. Who's the Seahawks owner?
It was
Paul Allen.
Yeah, it was Paul Allen. Right?
Was Paul Allen?
He died.
Daughter, I think, right?
Yeah, Jody Allen, his daughter.
Jody Allen's. There's no way she had any idea that Russell was storming out of meetings during the season. There's no way that the Seahawks business side had any clue that this whole thing they had going with Russ and Pete they had no idea that it was potentially cracking. I assume this got dropped into their laps very recently, just like everybody else.
Well, they had to know something, didn't they? With the fact that they fired their offensive coordinator. Do you think that was a surprise to them too?
You think the owner fired the offensive coordinator?
No, but I'm saying the owner probably had to have some kind of awareness it was coming up, like we're going to get rid of the coordinator.
Yeah, but then remember the philosophical differences line with Pete Carroll saying about Shoddy getting fired. That's kind of the reason I think why, everybody was like, philosophical differences. Well, last year it was Russell Wilson's offense, so if you don't believe in that. Now, I automatically, because of the image that was portrayed of Russell Wilson and Pete Carroll, I automatically assumed that what he was saying was like, hey, Russ, we want to protect you. We can't have you dropping back throwing 50 times. We got to run the ball a little bit more, play action. The greatest of all time, play action, a lot of running back play. But apparently that was not it at all, and that's not how Team Russ took that. Team Russ took that as a shot directly at Russell Wilson.
How does Team Russ, Team 3, feel about the new offensive coordinator?
We haven't got an exact quote, I don't think, because we've been entrenched in battle. What's that?
He was coaching at my high school 10 years ago, and they went 5-3. So, there's that. He's got a pretty good resume.
What happened, dude?
I mean, you heard me correctly. 10 years ago, he was in the ISL, the real league in New England, and the boys went 5-3. And then,
were you on that team?
Unfortunately, it was a year before I got there. Would have been my first junior year, but I didn't get there in time. They didn't want me.
So this was not the guy that was coaching you while you blew up A.J. Dillon on the side.
No. Different OC then.
He wasn't even head coach 10 years ago at your high school?
No, he was the OC. The head coach there. I mean, hey, that guy's in football. He might make it to the NFL Hall of Fame.
He might.
Yeah,
He might. I'm sure Russell Wilson's pumped to hear that 10 years ago, the offensive coordinator for his team led the ISL squad of Boston Connor to 5-3 in his high school.
Oh, well, not even to mention they were supposed to go 9-0. and they didn't even make a bowl game. So, hey, that's on him. Still trying to live it down.
Just underperforming up there. He's learned since then. He has grown since then.
That's
he has
true.
become the hardened offensive coordinator he's going to have to be to deal with this whole Russell Wilson situation. If Russell Wilson is not traded away, this could get ugly up there. What do you have, Diggs?
It seems like there's a former NFL insider who we're going to have to stop listening to. This comes from Ian Rappaport. For whatever it's worth, former Dolphins quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick does plan on playing in 2021.
Oh, my God,
and he
John
should have
Clayton.
a solid free agent market.
We are gridiron having a day.
Thank God.
So, listen, Bleacher Report Gridiron. What are we doing here? Is this a game we're playing?
Yeah.
Can we at least do a little snooping around before we just post something up there as a graphic so Sports Stooge doesn't just act as if it's gospel? John Clayton with the J.J. Watt stuff a week and a half ago. Now this. I'm very intrigued by it. Good for Ryan Fitzmagic getting his name back out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's go, Magic.
We thought 1 month ago, whenever he said a fire has been lit under him, there's no chance he's going to retire. Here now, I'm happy to hear that is true. The NFL needs Ryan Fitzmagic still at this point, AJ.
And how about Fitzmagic's just sitting back, seeing all this happen, and he's thinking, I've never said anything. I haven't made any decisions. I haven't even talked to my wife about possibly retiring.
Who's John Clayton? Is John Clayton talking to my kids? What?
And Rappaport did say, but in Rappaport's tweet, he said he does plan on playing. That's not a guarantee he's going to play. And the previous thing from Gridiron, they were basically, they didn't say hey, he doesn't want to play anymore. They said he doesn't have any options. That's what the Gridiron people were claiming.
Well, Rappaport's saying this free agent market should be solid.
Yeah.
And if Ryan Fitzpatrick wants to play, he's going to find a way to play.
Yeah, for whatever it's worth, Ian Rappaport, at Rap Sheet, friend of the show, former Dolphins quarterback Ryan Fitzpatrick, 38 years old, does plan on playing in 2021, and he should have a solid free agent market for his role. There's been some public debate about his future, but he does intend to play this year. I wonder if this is a direct answer to us. Are we doing that now? This is
Seems
pretty
like
cool.
it. Yeah.
Schefter, I never said that.
Now Rap Sheet. Hey, look.
Hey, that is
I gotta call
after public debate. He said.
Yeah.
Is anybody else talking about Fitzmagic? I mean,
if they're not, they should be.
He's back, baby.
Let's go.
But hey, put that headline back up. Ryan Fitzpatrick leaning towards retirement? ? And then the Broncos made contact with a veteran, but it looks like he's going to be out of the mix, meaning he's not going to be what does that does it say anything about retiring?
What? Well, the article you
questioning
see,
him.
The article said that basically there wasn't going to be anybody interested or whatnot.
So they're saying, hey, he doesn't have a market. They didn't say he wants to. He doesn't want to play football anymore.
Yeah, but then look at Rappaport.
Yeah.
Look at Rappaport's report. His free agent market should be a real one for his role, is what they said.
Yeah, this is because of you.
I do believe, and I would like everybody to know that I'm sorry. You put shit out there, it's about time there's some accountability here on here.
That's right. Checks and balances.
This is Massacre Week. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, Massacre Week. Anybody could get it allegedly, and sometimes you got to break shit down. You know why though? Because I'll say something that I seen from somebody else, and my life gets ruined for it. I'm like, yo,
They attribute it to you.
yeah, the messenger is not the message maker. Okay. In this case. Those Jujubes wanted me off the air.
Mm-hmm. They were buzzing.
Whew. They got to attack corporate COVID cowboy over there. Not me. No.
Triple C.
Let's go to Drew in Mississippi. What's going on, Drew?
Steelers website wants them going too.
Not much, man. Boys, AJ, how you doing? Keep it moving.
Thank you.
I'm a Neanderthal, apparently. But my question was, the Skip Bayless contract coming out last week, made me wonder what kind of deal would it take for you and the boys to take a TV network gig. And also, with the current state of cancel culture, how long do you think it'll take before Nick gets canceled?
To be surprised, to be honest, we are all very surprised at this point with old negative Nick back there dropping in his gems. Network, I'm not. It depends on. I don't know. We're in a lot of conversations right now. No, can't say it.
Damn it.
Brian in Michigan, what's going on?
What is up, you fucking legend?
That feels good, Ryan. Just chilling, man. How are you? How's your day? What do you want to talk about?
You know, man, I'm actually having a really good day. It's a beautiful day in Michigan. Too bad Evan Fox is here, not here to enjoy it.
He was down on the beach last weekend, by the way. He chose to go elsewhere aside from back to Michigan for his off time, but nobody will remember that in the long haul. His tan looks fantastic today.
You can't blame him for that, man. You can't blame him for that.
Amen.
Anyway, I was just curious as to what your favorite strain of vitamins are.
Oh, thank you, Ryan. Great question. I'm a sativa guy. Okay, I like the upbeat movement. I'll take a hybrid or an indica, though, if it's available. All right, let's go to Brandon in Virginia. What's going on, Brandon?
Hey, Pat. Shout out to you, AJ, and the boys. My question is about the Raiders. Derek Carr, I know you've been getting shit from the Raider fans about Derek Carr, but I love him as a quarterback. But I was just wondering if there was any possibility of maybe like a 3-team trade to where Deshaun Watson can go to the Seattle, Russell Wilson comes to us at the Raiders, and we send Derek Carr to where his big brother played in Houston.
Perfect. Makes sense.
Brandon, I love what you're cooking up there.
Is that all you have to do, straight up, you think? No picks, nothing? You just shuffle them around the league?
It'd be interesting if Derek Carr was just, in that same class of conversation. Because at one point, Derek Carr was an MVP quarterback.
Yeah.
Those Raiders fans are asking for Russ pretty loud, though. Huh?
Oh, yeah. Big time.
They're saying, like, he's going to be there at this point. It's almost like a foregone conclusion by the Raiders fans, like, oh, he's coming here or whatever.
Big brother was asking for Russ there.
Oh, yeah. I remember quarterback for the Raiders' older brother wrote an article saying who should go get him. Well, the Raiders are one of those teams. I don't know if it was him writing it or if somebody deleted it.
It's wild what a stink they raised, too, about you suggesting the possibility of Derek Carr be moved, and then all of a sudden Russell Wilson's name becomes available, and they are clamoring for him in the streets.
I'll say Raiders fans are awesome.
Hey, does Gruden seem like a Russell Wilson guy? Like, do you think they would?
Oh, yeah.
Grinder?
They did that quarterback interview thing together where they and Gruden was slobbering basically.
I'll tell you what, man. Tell you what, this guy, man. Open eyes, clear hearts, huh? Is that what we're doing? Clapping, man. Is that what we're doing? Knock on wood if you're with me, Russ.
Go Raiders.
Go Raiders if you're with me. I'll go Raiders. Go Raiders. Imagine those two podiums, front of the team meeting.
Oh, you're right. Actually, it would be amazing. I think they would get along well. I think they're so different. It would be awesome.
Let's go to Cole in Alabama. Last call of the day. What's going on, Cole? Oh, no.
Cole.
It's Cole World. Cole, you're gone. Lee Battle in Starkville. What's going on, Lee Battle?
Hey, Cuzzy, boys, Mr. Hawk, happy Monday down there.
Happy Monday to you too, Lee Battle. Great to hear from you, pal. What do you want to talk about?
Hey, always great to call in. Hey, it sounds like somebody needs to go get KJ Wright out of Seattle because that place is going to shit.
KJ Wright?
Yeah. I know he wanted big money.
He did.
I didn't get it.
Backer for the Hawks.
Mm-hmm.
Bobby Wagner?
Yeah, it's him and KJ Wright.
Play,
yeah.
He wants out?
He said he's not taking a hometown discount.
He's going to be a free agent?
Leadership is worth something.
That's what Kyle Van Noy was saying. Miami said that ain't true. What happened there?
Oh. What do you think?
People think that we're going to forget about that. We are not going to forget about that. No. I mean, maybe. I mean, we'll see what Massacre Week looks like here. Day one, not too much. I mean, not too much of a bloody Monday. You know what I mean?
We won't forget, pal.
There's our Dolphins fan, Gumpy. He's been on the phones. He's been answering calls. A man who was once a caller. Now he has a show. What's that, AJ?
No, I wanted to ask Gump, is there anyone from that has come into the organization, like in the front office, that has power since Van Noy got, after he signed with Miami, that wasn't there, that wasn't part of this deal?
No, it's the same people that were there when he was there. Everyone thinks that Van Ginkel is going to fill his boots. And I just don't think that's true, unfortunately.
Van Ginky might be on
You never know.
I mean, DaVinci can play. He's just not Kyle Van Noy.
DaVinci?
Yeah, I mean, that's probably all that it is. That they think, hey, this is cheaper, and we think this guy is going to be good. Or he is good already. I know that.
Massacre Week continues tomorrow. We got a big show.
Oh, yeah. Let's go. Look out.
Hey.
Yeah.
It's a big one.
Yep.
AJ, who's that guest you got for us?
Oh, man.
I can't say. I can't say it yet. They don't want me to tell you till tomorrow.
Oh, the tease.
Okay.
Hey, did you hear about your boy Urban down there in Jacksonville basically saying, like, there's an NFL standard. I'm setting one much higher, though. We're not playing elite. That's throwing around too much. We're playing on the edge, he said.
Okay. As far as what? The edge of what? The whistle? Like we're going to play through the whistle? What do you mean?
I didn't read all of the quote, but I do know that there was a lot of talk about how the Urban Meyer level of NFL is a different level. And I appreciate the fact that he's looking to run a good business down there in Jacksonville and get a good team. I do appreciate that. But some of it can come off as if he thinks he's better than the NFL. And that is something that, I assume some haters will definitely talk about until he starts winning some games.
He said it was like, the first 5 practices of the season are always easy, but once you get to practice 10, practice 15, that's when you start living on the edge a little bit, and you get that edge, and that's what we're trying to create here in Jacksonville. When you're tired and you don't really want to go practice, how are you going to create that edge?
Because he's not recruiting people. Okay, he's going to have the players that he's going to have. That's the way it goes.
Just don't say elite around him. Do not use that
It's interesting
word.
because a business that is owned by the same owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars has elite right there in the middle.
Oh.
They had a pay-per-view last night.
Good luck.
Was it elite?
People thought I was going to show up at it.
Oh.
A guy much better than me showed up. Christian showed up. Matt, welcome back to Wrestling, Christian Cage.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, Big Tuesday. Chris Mad Dog Russo with Mad Dog Unleashed. We'll be after this 6-minute break coming in 20 seconds. AJ, quickly, what do you have to say to the SiriusXM listeners?
I got nothing.
He'll have more of that tomorrow. Chris Mad Dog Russo with Mad Dog Unleashed is following this 6-minute break. We promise his show will be better than ours. Be a friend, tell a friend. We'll be back tomorrow. Cheers. And we're back. Hey, YouTube got hashtag I am watching PMS trending pretty high there.
Let's go.
We appreciate you guys.
Classic YouTube.
You ever think I'm going to have something to say for 7 seconds at the end of the show?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're a wordsmith. You're elite at these types of things. I thought you could potentially weasel a 7-second motivational clip in for the people that are listening on the road who break their back for this country every single day and Canada, listening on SiriusXM. I thought there was a chance you'd give them a little 7-second something.
It's not hard, AJ. You could have done it.
Well, I tell you what, Diggs, if there's anything that we need much more of, and there's not enough on the internet, it's people that are motivational speakers trying to yell at the camera and tell me how awesome they are and how terrible I am. So I will try to do better, Pat.
You need to be patient.
What?
That's the key to it all.
What's wrong with elite?
It gets thrown around too much. It gets used too loosely. It's like the word goat. Goat. How many goats can there be? Well, until it starts becoming a donkey. That's the question that Urban Meyer's asking with the word elite.
Okay. I agree on the goat comment. It is absolutely thrown around too much.
Flacco got asked if he thought he was elite. What the hell is he supposed to say?
I stink.
Maybe one time I was in that long distance throwing contest.
Not anymore.
But not anymore. What was he supposed to say?
Look in the mirror and fucking be truthful.
While he's trying to get a contract at the same time? That's business. That ain't business, baby. You an elite quarterback? Nah, to be honest. Probably $1-2 million a year, probably.
Yeah, I lost it big time.
Remember how good it used to be? You got somebody coming out of Delaware, the fucking hens, dude. I was slinging it. Now, so
a little different.
Why don't you go back a couple years and ask me that question? I'll have a different answer for you. Can't do that.
Is he on the Jets still?
Joe?
Joe's been on the show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, he
That's
has.
right. He was with the Broncos, made an appearance.
I believe it was like a week after that. He was like, hey, we got to get some shit figured out. And they cut his ass immediately.
The first time Joe Flacco ever acted like an actual quarterback leader guy. They're like, that's not what we signed. Get the fuck out.
I think he is on the Jets still.
Maybe he's the guy going forward, Bob Salah.
Ooh. He started a game last year, I remember.
Yeah.
Who's that?
Flacco.
Yeah. He also came in right when
New England
beat the Patriots.
Yeah.
And then they told him, "Hey, Joe, throw it as far as you can so I can pick it off, and let's get out of here with a loss." All right.
All right. I gotta go. I have to get out of here.
You gotta take care of your voice. You gotta go to get a shot in there like some singers do.
Is that available?
Ooh, I don't know. I've heard crazy things. Yeah, people get stuff shot in their vocal cords.
Oh wait, where's the spray?
Yeah.
I couldn't find it.
Dang it.
Maybe get Greeny the next day some.
Yeah.
Me, Billy Joel, that piano band we talked about last week.
Mm-hmm.
Should be up here somewhere.
What's the spray called?
Godsend?
Yeah, I don't know, but it is effective.
Is it like a homemade concoction, or is it something that you can buy?
Me, Billy Joel, Greeny.
Just you three can buy it?
Yeah. Strictly.
Basically all of Broadway in New York, dude.
Mm-hmm. Sweet shoes, man.
These are the Hoka Ones.
Those are awful.
What?
Whoa.
Jeez.
Whoa.
What, dude?
I wasn't expecting it. I don't know why. I don't know why those look
You're a pig. You are a pig.
Look at the soul. Like, the zoom out just got me. I wasn't expecting that. Jeez.
I fell off of these before. I cannot believe you must have taken.
That's what happened.
No,
AJ.
I would have. I would absolutely have taken it if I would have seen that when I was there. Don't do that.
Hold on.
For real. Those.
By the way, Jeremy Pruitt, you want to play for us? 2 times I got it.
Wait, is that still there from that?
Yeah. You don't like these?
Is there food in there in that bag?
No. I got a couple double cheese though, extra cheese. You know what I'm talking about? You don't like these, AJ? You don't
What are
know.
they called?
Hoka One.
Oh yeah.
These are the cocaine.
Those are the Hoka Cocas.
So these are the Hokas, the cocaine white Hokas. These are for walking. You would never understand. You can though accidentally lose your balance and fall off the back, which I have done a couple different.
Do you? I would imagine too. Like if you could roll your ankle a lot too.
Yeah, you don't do a lot of explosive training in these. These are strictly for walking malls and such.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna end up like that lady falling in that tank of grapes.
I didn't see that.
Oh man! All-time internet video.
What, Hotel Doko?
No. Years ago.
I've probably seen it then.
You've seen it.
Yeah, the grape
I made a
stomping
video
lady.
when the Steelers were getting their ass kicked by the Browns. I sent you a video of
yeah,
the Steelers logo on
Yeah, I
it.
do remember that. I do remember that. People need to relax with the. I mean, now the goddamn YouTube comments are roasting these shoes. Before you roast these, no goats wear these.
Mm-hmm. Actual
goats.
Yeah.
By the way, that's a plie. How you doing?
Yeah. That looks fake. It looks like Photoshop.
Oh, man. I can't touch my toes.
But how do you like? All right, so this is real. Like this, you're not sarcastic.
What are you talking about, dude? What are you implying?
I'm just trying to figure it out because you didn't mention them. I don't see them until at 3 hours into the show. You zoom out and I see these. I mean, come on.
This isn't the first time.
Yeah,
don't knock them.
Comfy ass shoes, dude.
It would look much better if you wore like nice baggy acid wash jeans with those.
Oh, this guy. You don't know. AJ, you don't know, dude. Let's see how. I mean, how
Right.
It is. I mean, that is a high sole there on the back end. You know what I mean? All the way up to his waist there. These are good shoes, dude. All right, I'm out of here. I did not find that spray. I think you stole it while you were here breaking my shit.
You son of a bitch. I did a Google search of what it was, and there's a billion recommendations from Broadway stars.
Thank you. Thank you. Did they have my recommendation?
I
on
was
it?
looking for just that one, so now I cannot.
Did we find it or no? I gotta get out of here, bro. Nick just texted me. Normally means somebody has reacted to something we did in the show. So, thank God.
Nah,
Normally.
just Microsoft has been hacked.
What?
What?
Excuse me.
Microsoft.
Excuse me.
I didn't even know Microsoft still existed.
Microsoft Outlook, which is basically what every corporate stooge in the world uses for their emails.
Every single one.
It was hacked? It's a shame. Well, we'll talk about that tomorrow. All right. See you later. Thanks for participating in hashtag I'm watching PMS today. It was trending. We'll get the winners out here in the next couple of days. Cash App, Venmo, everything we do to give away the money. They limit how much we can give away each week. So if it takes a little bit for you to get your cash, we promise you it's not on our end. If you want to write your senators to change the Venmo and Cash App limits, that'd be fantastic for all of us.
I didn't hear a word you said. I can't hear a word you're saying when you're zoomed out and I can see your shoes.
All right. All right. That's the show, dude. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you so much for everything. Cheers.